Hey, what's up? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. Second time on the show. Ari Spears. I know he has a lot to talk about.
We've been talking about. Call it the Get Some I Just Got podcast.
I didn't get got.
Oh, you didn't get got?
I mean,
all right.
What are you talking about? The divorce?
Come on, baby. I didn't want to
jump right in.
I didn't want to stoke the flames immediately, but you know.
I mean, it is what it is.
Hold up. First of all, this is your first divorce, right?
Yeah, it's only been married
once. That's why my heart bleeds for you. I've been legally sodomized twice. So
I didn't know you got divorced twice.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that last time I was here.
I know you got divorced twice.
Oh
no,
sodomized by the same woman. Shame on me.
Wait. You got married to the same woman?
Yeah, she was Puerto Rican, dog. It does that. That cocaine is, that yayo is serious, baby.
Well, I know I'm not following your footsteps.
Well,
that I can say.
The white in you is smarter than that. Either that or you'll kill the bitch.
No. Ain't gonna be no you talking to myself like she likes me.
All right.
No, I mean, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, we were talking about it before we came on the air. Like, I had to stop the podcast for like 6 months legitimately because I couldn't be in California because, you know, I was basically avoiding a process server for a few months.
Right.
And it worked itself out.
Right.
But I can't talk about everything I want to talk about yet. Like your third time on the podcast.
Right.
I'll be wide open.
Listen, I'm not even saying we got to really talk about it, but you had asked me a question while I was in Orlando this past weekend, and you said something about, and I was wondering before you asked me this if we could go there, but you was like, yo, let's not talk about the divorce. And I said, okay. But then I was going, now the comic in us.
Yes.
I got one thing I want to ask. We don't have to talk about it. I just got one question.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the comic in Gary, because he's a true comedian in his heart and his soul, he should allow me to ask this. Whether or not he answers it, I think he would find it funny. But then you said, just ask it. I said, well, you said to me, ask it now. And I was like, no, I want to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
So then this is how I know he's a comedian. He goes, fuck it then. Ask me the day you come do this. All right, bet. That's how you do it. Now, if it ain't right, we'll edit it out, which is fair. Yeah. But I was like, man, I really want to ask this and be spontaneous because that's what comics do. So if we're going to play pickleball, let's play pickleball, but let's do this the right way.
Okay.
All right. Now, Gary, I've heard you say in interviews that because you respect who we are as a culture.
Yes.
And, you know, you got this Larry Bird thing here. And Larry Bird, every black person respected Bird. Bird was white, but his skills was black, a la Gary. But Gary respects the culture that he said on stage he would never say the N-word.
Right.
And I know there was that one little bit of controversy we talked about with the Twitter thing.
Yeah.
Right. So then, and because of that, I think that's part of why the black community, both comedically and as fans, respect you.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is, once you, and I don't know what was true or what wasn't, but of course online I read how much she wanted and this and that.
Yeah.
So when you knew what she was going for money-wise, be honest. At no point did you say to yourself, yo, this nigga.
What?
There you go. Comedically, and I know he don't mean that, but comedically, that's what he's supposed to say. And if he mean that, I'm gonna knock that water out of his mouth.
Listen, when you've been with somebody as long as I was with Kenya,
did you see that coming?
What you were gonna say?
Yeah.
When the way you were leading up to it, I did.
Okay.
That's comedians do. But in the beginning, I didn't know where he was going with it.
Right.
But I've said this. I said, you know, you forget. I know it sounds crazy. You forget she's black. Like, that's Kenya.
Yeah.
Like I don't even equate her to like the entire race of black people. That was like that was Kenya. That was my wife.
Your wife.
You know what I mean? And it's not a disrespect thing, but listen. I wish I could talk about my divorce like I want to.
I understand.
Because we still in court going over stuff.
I understand. Listen, the crazy thing for me was, and I had asked my podcast partner, Andy Steinberg, about what I was going to say to you. And I said, yo, you think that's funny? He goes, yeah, it is. I said, you think Gary would laugh or be offended? He goes, yo, if Gary's a comic to his heart, he's going to think that's funny. But then I gave him one other variation, and I went, yo, what if I said, Gary said, and I'm like, nah, that might be too much. No. But what if Gary went, yo, this nigga bitch? And I was like, nah,
oh, wow.
Nigga
That's
bitch.
A double up.
Yeah, the nigga bitch is too much. So just to stick with nigga. All right.
But you know, even with even, when you go through a divorce, you have to, you're an open book. Like,
Yeah.
the lawyers find everything.
Yeah.
The private investigators find everything.
Cocksuckers.
So they go over your text messages, your emails, everything. And my lawyer literally said to me, she was like, "You're literally like the nicest person I've ever met because you don't go in at all." But for me, it's like if one person's angry and understand she was angry for a time being, I go, me coming back at her, I guess I was more thinking, this is a business. And this business is coming to an end, and she was more emotions was taking over, and I wasn't letting my quote unquote emotions get involved like that when it comes to dealing with her and texting and emailing.
Right.
So, but man, I got she's a beast when it comes to putting somebody down.
They're all beasts.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
all beasts. They're undercover wolves.
Like,
nigga.
whoa. Every secret I ever told her about my family dysfunction
Right.
came out.
Listen, man,
It's like-
what's so wild, there's two parts. One, the mere fact that you said this is a business, which it is. And I remember Chappelle said on, I forget which special it was, but he said basically marriage is just a bad business deal. It's a good business deal for her. But the fact that what's supposed to be love is really a business is really heartbreaking. And then, the second thing is this. When you go, she's still my wife. Unless you really hate each other, I mean, like fucking, I want to kill you hatred. Yes, there's the initial anger of you're putting me through what you're putting me through. And yeah, I got to break this bread, which I really don't want to break. But then once the anger subsides, unless you hate each other, there's still some, I still like her, man. I still got love for her.
This is the thing.
So the venomous behavior, the vitriol, the anger, that goes away unless y'all just really hate each other.
Here's how I look at it. It's almost it's love and war, and we're at war right now. And she's doing everything she can that she feels is in her best interest. So I get it. Like, gloves are off. So go in on me, do what you got to do. I get it. So and I'm doing what I feel is going to benefit me in the long run. That's why I've been quiet. I haven't said a word on social media.
Right.
And I won't, because Instagram and Facebook is not going to help me in the courtroom.
Right.
So I also have to keep in mind, she came into my life at a time when I needed her too. Like, she helped me through a lot of stuff personally. So I'm always under the, oh man, this did not work out. For whatever reason, and I'll just put it like this, nobody's got it right yet. I know you can read what you want to read on the internet.
Right.
Nobody, and I can tell you off air, because you're not going to blab it, but on air, nobody has got it right yet. You know who got it right? Only person? And you got to dig. Gilbert Arenas figured it out.
Is that right?
How did Gilbert Arenas figure it out?
I don't even know his backstory in terms of that.
I don't either, but he figured it out. I'm talking, he figured it out by going online and researching everything.
So what, he didn't have to give her nothing?
Who?
Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, he figured out my divorce.
Oh, he did?
In detail. Somebody sent me a screenshot of him going back and forth with somebody, and I went, how did he do this?
Well, if a nigga can bring a gun to practice,
Yeah.
he can bring a gun to some information.
I was in awe. I was like
Right.
this. And you probably can't find it because it's not like he made a post. He commented on some third party's
Right.
Instagram page, and they went back and forth over my divorce. And I'm reading it going like this. What the fuck?
Right.
How did he figured it completely out in detail? I was like, dude, Gilbert's a beast. Because you know what he did? He researched. He didn't go off the internet. He researched.
But then how is he still getting that kind of information? Or doing the research?
I don't know. He figured it out. And he's been through the ringer too with some baby mamas
Listen,
and
man.
exes.
Listen, I know you can't get into it, and we won't. But from just the standpoint of manhood, of the man club, the Raccoon Lodge hat wearing, tribal Buffalo Wild Wing card carrying man club, can we just agree that this horse shit about what I brought to it when you really didn't bring too much to it, or better yet, I won't say that, but what you brought to it, does it really equate to what you demanding? Come on,
Listen,
man.
Third time you're on the podcast, we can be completely open about this.
Oh,
But here's my thing about people in general. You should never be relying on somebody else to take care of you. It should be you. Everyone should be taking care of themselves.
Let me tell you something. I literally bang my head against the wall sometimes going, listen, I totally get the child support.
Well, our
You
kids are
gotta-
over 18.
Okay, even which is what many people said. But my thing is, you know how insane it is that a grown person is taking care of another grown person as though they're a child. That's insane. That's why I said, look,
Yep.
during my divorce, well, I feel like any relationship, even if the marriage is going well, you don't have to work. You got a nice roof over your head. You drive several luxury SUVs. You don't put gas in it. You don't pay the insurance. You go shopping anytime you want. Christian Louis this, Gucci that, motherfucking red bottoms. I can't get no pussy on the side. I haven't earned some pussy on the side. Is this what we talking about? You need for nothing. Oh shit, look at that.
He really got into it.
Oh shit, my bad. You need for nothing. You are taken care of top to bottom.
Dude,
Anything you want, anything you need is a phone call away. I can't get no side pussy.
hey, man. I get it, Aries. I can't comment on that at all.
Y'all gonna keep all this in, right? Him
I'll
wiping the table and
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I'll just say, like, you learn a lot going through divorce, and just the women out there in the future. California and Ohio, two places where we've lived, they're both no-fault states.
What does that mean?
You can fuck everything on the planet. It does not affect the divorce.
And I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah. Has
Cali
nothing-
in Ohio?
Yep. It has no bearing on the final divorce proceedings. So
Cali, I would be surprised at that. Ohio, no, because the pickings in there is terrible. So you should be able to fuck as much
but
as you
it
can
really- I'm
till
not
you
saying
find
it's-
some quality pussy.
I'm not saying it's right, and I'm
Right.
not saying everything, but I am saying going through it,
Right.
they're both no-fault states. So it's like, if you want to spend all this energy trying to find things like that, if there was side chicks, if who else he was screwing,
Right.
in the end, it doesn't benefit you financially in the courtroom at all through the divorce. They're both no-fault states. It has no bearing on it,
Right.
you know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I learned.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned. Because, I was taking L's, I'll put it that way, on the internet. And I was like this, and my lawyer just kept saying, this has no bering at all.
Yeah, I'm good I'm good on the water. I don't want to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah. Bring us some sand. But you learn a lot going through. But it's funny, like everyone that called me during my divorce that had been through divorces,
Right.
they educated me on everything. You know what I mean? I was like this. Oh, okay. And I'm sure Kenya had her friends and her people calling her to telling her what she should be doing. So,
A bunch of bitches with no money
Yeah.
telling a broad who gets free money what to do. It's hilarious. Here's my question to you. Will you ever get married again, or has this tainted you for life?
I would, under different circumstances, but I would. It hasn't tainted me for life. No, I'm not doing what you did. I would never marry the same woman. But
Yeah,
here's my thing with social media in general. I always took a lot of personal pride, my own personal pride, because I say everybody going through their own shit. You got your shit you're dealing with. I got my everything. I always took a lot of pride in keeping it off the internet. You never heard me airing drama out on the internet.
Right.
And so now, like, it's all out there. I was like this. What just fucking... I kept all this under wraps, man.
Yeah, dude,
When I woke up, I was in Marco Island at Captain Brian's. 2 shows, right? I
Right.
get off stage.
Right.
That's when I get online.
And
I got all
what a-
these text messages. I'm going, what's happened? That's when TMZ broke the story. I got another show in like an hour.
What a horrible place to be to find out that news.
I was like this. What the fuck? It was everywhere. My phone's blowing up. We're trying to do merch, sell T-shirts. So we
Right.
got the square that plug into your phone.
Yeah.
But my dude's like, dude, what the fuck? Like
Right.
everything's just ringing. We couldn't get any
Oh, my
T-shirt orders in.
God.
It was, man, that was a long weekend because then my lawyer's calling saying, don't go outside, stay in, because process server, you can't get served. We don't know what's going on. I
Right.
mean, TMZ just went everywhere. Like in a matter of 2 days, it was on every black social media outlet.
Well, that's
right?
your fault.
That's my fault.
That's your fault.
But I also said this: when it would kill me was when some comics went on. When you having fun with it, it's
Right.
different than
Right.
malicious intent. Like
Right.
people that were generally happy, they thought shit wasn't going my way. I'll put
Right.
it that way. I was like, oh, I said, I don't understand that mentality.
So wait, when you say people weren't happy, let's be specific. You mean are there certain members of the black community?
I'm talking about comedians.
Black
and-
comedians?
Oh yeah, there's a couple that.
Tired of seeing you win, white boy.
Yeah.
I want that white boy winning.
Oh.
Got black pussy and green dollars, and you white. You got white privilege, green dollars, and black pussy. You just gonna take all the colors.
Oh, there was one.
Yeah.
My buddy screenshot it because he commented on my ex's page, and that's when you know guys that are bitches too. When you commenting
Right.
on my ex's page, like
Gary thought he had the complexion for the protection for the collection, but that black bitch got her nigga section.
I don't know if I'm allowed to laugh at that.
Oh my God.
There was a couple comments. I was like this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
Never
you
work
know,
with you again.
There you go, man. People. Listen, man. I've had certain comics of a certain melanin tone throw shade at you for various reasons. But I said, well, one, I'm cool with Gary. He ain't never disrespected me. Motherfucker done had me on his podcast, showed me love when a lot of people show me fake love. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about the boy. Plus, you know, you legitimately funny without doing that pandering to black audiences shit, talking a certain way, coming off a certain way. I ain't gonna say no names because I'm trying to grow as a human being. But there are certain white comics who play that card. You know, all of a sudden you got an extra rhythm in your bop. You got some extra swag in your delivery. And now you talk a certain way and you got some slave vernacular popping off. It's like Gary's Gary and can kill a black crowd. Same way Bill Burr is Bill Burr and can kill a black crowd. So I always tip my hat to that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I tip my hat to it too. Pretty amazing. You know what's the funniest was when people that probably have never seen me live, like you
Yeah.
said, they said, oh, he done. Did he lose his audience?
Right.
His whole set was him being married to a black woman. I go, dude, you've never seen me live. And the thing about me is, especially lately,
Right.
before the divorce got announced, I would always say my wife. I didn't have to say black anymore.
Right.
But in your brain, you see a black woman. So
Right.
you're saying, oh, he's talking about black people. I'm like, no, I just said my wife. That's all I said. But that was the funniest part.
Let me tell you, that's like when people go on the internet and they try to, you know, shit on me and go, man, all that nigga known for is impressions. That's all he do. You just impressions. You clearly don't know my skill set. Matter of fact, when I go out on the road now, I can be on stage for an hour and a half and not do one impression and do 30 minutes of crowd work. And I'm not trying to have a moment of vanity, but I'm addressing it. Some of my crowd work is better than most niggas' written material. So I can do the crowd work. I got the material. I can dunk, which is to do an impression, but I don't have to do that.
But those people, when people say that about you or they say it about me on the internet, that one, they probably never seen you live.
Right?
And they were never gonna come see you live.
Right.
So it's
right.
like this. It's like, I could care less.
Right.
That's why I was like, sometimes you want to respond and you're like this, wait a minute. They were never gonna come see me anyway.
But see, that's where I'm trying to evolve into a better human being because my first inclination is to respond. I got that Scarface gene in me. You know, you can yell at me for so long and I'm gonna sit there and take it and then I'm gonna go, fuck you, man. Fuck the Diaz brothers. And then I'm gonna act like that, which ain't never been highly beneficial to me.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get better.
But I never, listen, whenever I see you going on your rants, like you used to on different people's podcasts and stuff, like I've known you for so long, I was like, I never like, it's almost like I would never be like, I'm not fucking with Aries no more because he didn't like that guy. Or he gave his opinion on somebody. Don't ask for my opinion if you don't really want it.
Yes, but you know, there's such a fine art to being able to be opinionated without being detrimental within your opinion. But I don't know how to do that in terms of then, are you telling the truth? If my opinion and part of that truth is what I see, what I think I know, what the facts may be, then how do you dance around that unless you just don't fuck with it at all? But when you ask the question, and if I'm being honest about what it is or what we all know, then let's dig in if we're gonna dig in. You know what I mean? And that's what gets you in trouble sometimes. Often for me anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't take nothing personal. I got my own shit I'm dealing with right now. I don't care about your opinion.
Listen, my heart goes out to you, man. I know what you're going through. I would think that at some point we'd have figured this out. And by we, I mean, isn't there anything that men can do collectively to come together and just at least change some of these rules? I'm not saying make it so that women can go back to being fucked, because that should never happen.
Yeah.
But let's be fair.
Is it really man-woman, or is it just the breadwinner? Because Kelly Clarkson's husband got over like most women do on men.
Listen, white tigers exist. We know this. That's not the norm. We can't go based off of white tigers, nigga.
Look, there's one Luca.
You know what I mean? I've seen white gorillas. I've seen it.
But our white guys from Germany
Yeah,
that can
man,
ball the fuck out.
But come on, man. That Dr. Dre shit.
Tigers.
Yeah, we know, but that Dr. Dre shit, I'm just like, word.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Word.
That was a lot.
And my whole thing is, ladies, look, justify it. Don't just give me, well, she was there and support system and all that. Really, dollars and cents, justify it. Mm-hmm. Never seen her in the recording studio. Don't remember her on any rhymes, on any of the CDs. Did she go out on the road and tour? Was she responsible? Like all the blood, sweat, and tears, where was she during the work? Mm-hmm. The actual work. Mm-hmm. So come on, man.
I think the only thing that bugged me the most during everything was, not bugged, but I was like, now that's not true. As when she called me a deadbeat because of the picture I put, and I was like this. Dude,
What was the picture? Can you talk about it?
Yeah. I talked about it before. I was in Arlington, Texas, and literally I called my opener. Rich and Rotten's got that clothing line. Anyways, he always sends me T-shirts, and one said breadwinner with the definition on it. But he's got a lot of shirts that definition. I got one that says grind, definition of grind. Right. So literally I gave my opener like 8 shirts the guy gave me. I said, hey man, it's my dude. We come downstairs wearing the same shirt. And I go, I got change or you got change. So I threw on a new T-shirt, right? I didn't even pay attention. It was just black and white. I had black pants on and white shoes. So I was like, matches. Said breadwinner. Took a picture in the green room of me in the shirt. Just a goofy picture. Me mugging. Should have been me mugging like this. And my ex just went, I'm basically pinching the bear. I shouldn't have wore that, breadwinner, and went off. And then.
But what was she upset about? And what was the insinuation?
I don't know that I'm the breadwinner. I guess I was, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But and this is the silly shit about women sometimes.
Know.
What are you actually upset about? Like I'm sitting here trying to piece in my head. Shirt said breadwinner. I don't even understand the mean mugging, what that's supposed to mean. Mm-hmm. But okay, whether you mean mugging or smiling, what's the insinuation? What is she upset about?
Did
she tell you?
Well, it's about a 2-page post on Instagram. You can search and find it. But I just went off on breadwinner. I don't know, but I don't know.
I remember one time I was in Dallas, and the week before I was in Atlanta, and I had this white broad who opened up for me, brunette. And then at the end of the show, she was like, "Yo, can I get a picture with you?" So me and her take a picture, boom, side by side. I'm in Dallas. My phone rings at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's my Puerto Rican baby mother cussing at me with a mixture of half Cardi B and half Rosie Perez. And I'm like, what's the problem? The picture with the bitch next to you, I know you fucked her because it looked like you got her makeup on your jean jacket. I said, this broad opened for me. We took a picture. You really are putting that together? And even if I'm telling you the truth, the bottom line is you don't believe me. So for an hour and a half at 3 a.m, I'm getting cussed out, being accused of fucking some broad who I didn't even sniff. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, what am I doing? I'm on the road, making 5 figures to make sure you eat well, live well, dress well. And this is what I'm getting?
Yeah.
I might as well be a janitor. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
It's amazing to me, ladies. You want your cake and you eat it too. One of my favorite shows, The Sopranos. There's an episode where
I feel like you're going through the divorce worse than me right now.
listen.
You're all intense.
The stitches,
I'm going like this.
stitches just came out of my ass.
Listen, I'm going like this. Hey, man, I'm the one going through the divorce.
Listen, there's an episode where Tony has an interaction with his dad's former mistress. And at one point, she said that she used to fuck Kennedy. So she goes, a woman's job when dating a powerful man is simply to make that man feel powerful. So it's like, bitch, if I'm better than most, bigger than most, do more than most, and you ain't living the average life, make me feel powerful. If you don't have to work, put a diamond on your finger, some fly shit on your back, your car, everything is paid for, make me feel like the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Should have did my Tony Soprano. You know, if I'm taking care of you, make me feel like the fucking guy. I can't be doing this shit and have a mistress, and you treat me like a fucking janitor.
I don't know where to go from this. I think every comic's been there, though. You
Listen,
take a picture with somebody.
If you want to get rid of your problems with your ex, give me a call. Call fucking Bobby, Pushy, Shill, any of the guys, Christopher. Shut up in a fucking river.
But every comic's been through that.
I think so.
Every comic.
Well, no, listen, there are some comics who live that imaginary, lovable fairy tale. Like David Arnold. You know, he loves his wife, man. They the Cosbys. I look at some of their posts and they do things together. And listen, in my heart, I'm a romantic. I'm gonna get married again. I believe in romance. Kissing while you slow dance. No bouncing, baby. No chance. But you know, I think it's almost impossible, or I just don't see how a man goes through this life. If you only really get one chance at this thing, there's so much pussy out here. How do you relegate yourself to one flavor forever? Forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and ladies, again, and you've heard comedians say it a million times. Corey Holcomb, even though we don't vibe no more, still a great comic. But when he said that thing about, you know, ladies, the problem is y'all actually fuck dudes you like. Like when men fuck around, we ain't trying to be with this bitch. We're not trying to leave wifey for this. It's something to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a sport, Patrice, sport fishing. Look what I caught, fellas. And you release it back into the water. Trying to be with that. I'm just saying, man, side pussy I think is necessary for a successful marriage.
Comment on this right now.
That's all right. I'm your voice box.
I'm like this. I'm just like this.
We can switch subjects. I'm just, you know.
No, I'm enjoying listening to it. I'm just listening because I'm at the point now. This is what sucks. Our whole job is to make the uncomfortable comfortable, be open. Like you said, I don't get offended by anything.
Right.
Talk shit about me. I'll still have people on the podcast. I don't
Right.
care about that stuff. But I think that's the worst part about the divorce is I can't speak openly about it, whether it's on stage, on a podcast, in an interview. Right now, I just can't.
You see how powerful pussy is? It has him locked until he is not locked anymore.
No, I'm thinking financially. I can't say anything that can be used against me. So that's all this is about.
Right.
Is like, as much as I want to
Engage.
in this type
Right.
of conversation, I'm like,
I feel you.
yep. How about the
feel you.
Knicks?
They doing better than you.
Yeah, right? I'm the Knicks from 5 years ago.
Yeah,
right now.
there you go.
But you know, that's the worst part is because I will never, ever say anything bad about her in a public forum. Just because it is the mother of my kids, it would
Yeah.
hurt them. It's not gonna hurt. Because that's the thing, the shit that is happening through this divorce, through other people talking shit about me and going back and telling her things about me or whatever, I go, it's not hurting me.
Right.
I'm fine.
Right.
You're hurting her and you're hurting the kids when they
Right.
find out. I said, so whatever your goal was, it's not affecting me. I'm fine. I'm good
Right.
up here. Like, she's the one going through it now. And I'm
Right.
like, you just hurt her. So, I mean, I lost friends, family members. I was like this. My dad,
He was upset with you?
oh, that bitch. That's the biggest bitch on the planet, boy.
Your dad?
My dad, my biological dad.
Oh. Are
He
y'all
did-
cool?
Nah.
Oh.
That motherfucker's cut off for life. You
'Cause
don't
he
come
did
back
something
from
to
the
piss you
shit he
off?
did. In the divorce.
Oh.
He did the bitch shit. I talk about my new special, but when I say bitch shit, This motherfucker. I can talk about this a little bit because he ain't worked in my divorce.
Were y'all cool before this?
Somewhat. Like he wasn't really around growing up. Like I knew him. He picked me up maybe once a month. So I'd probably see him 12 to 15 times a year, right? And then we lost contact for a long time, like 4 or 5 years. And then it's funny, I got on TV, and all of a sudden he's back in my life, right? Even when I had my reality show, didn't go out of his way to see us. But I got a reality show, and he wanted to be on an episode. So I figured out a way to get him on an episode, right? And it pissed me off because then they titled it like, Gary gets sound advice from his father. I said, this motherfucker ain't ever gave me sound advice.
Right.
And then when we thought we was getting season 2, this motherfucker's calling me, hey, I got an idea for an episode. Why don't I teach Austin how to drive? Why don't I do this, this, and this? And then when the show went away, the motherfucker never wanted to teach my son how to drive ever that because he was turning 16. I was like this, you ain't call back.
Right.
And the bitch shit that he did was, this just all just happened. July 4th, I came home to Cincinnati and went to a Reds game. And got a suite, invited my boys over, and we went to the Reds game. My dad found out I was in town and didn't invite him and left me this long voicemail, like, this your fucking dad and you don't respect me. And I'm lost, dude. I'm waking up the next morning, this voicemail, like,
How old
what
are you?
I'm in my 40s.
Oh,
The fuck's you talking about?
okay. I thought some of this was like early.
No, this just happened this July.
Oh, hilarious.
During the divorce.
Hilarious.
When the shit hit TMZ, dude, I turned off my phone. I was off the grid. I told you, I was laying low. I didn't call no family members, nothing for weeks. I was like, just gone. Because you don't know who to trust. You're freaking out a little bit. So my dad keeps calling me and texting me going, hey, man, just let me know. I got your back to this divorce. I got you. Then this shit happened with the Reds game. The fucking Reds game, right? He got all upset because I didn't invite him and left me this voicemail. Then I called him and we started arguing on the phone. And we've cussed each other out before, but I went in this time. Like everything came out. So he got all upset. This motherfucker, man. He started posting pictures of this girl that I was seeing, that I'm seeing, right? Like this, there ain't no side chicks mission at this point. We've been separated since January. So I'm allowed to date, allowed to see people, right? So I went to the Sedona, went to Grand Canyon, went hiking with this girl, and sent pictures to my dad because he called me when we were on the hike. And he sent that picture to my ex. And then gave her all the info. And then posted it on his Facebook page with the middle finger emoji. Then he posted a picture of my ex saying, I got your back to this divorce. I've always been there for you. Same shit he said to me.
Right.
He said to her. And then what he was really upset about was 2 weeks, and this is how funny he doesn't bring this up. The reason I never called him for the Reds game or invited him, 2 weeks prior, I was in town for a week, Cincinnati, before I had to go on the road, because that's where I'm staying now, through this divorce, he wanted me to go to my sister's co-ed intramural soccer game. She's 28 years old. I don't want to go to a co-ed soccer game. Nothing sounds more boring. And I told him, I said, Dad, I don't think anything sounds more boring. So I didn't see him that week. He's supposed to pick me up to take me to the airport. My flight's at 8 a.m. So he would have to pick me up about 6 a.m. to get to the airport. Thursday night, I call him like, we still good for tomorrow? He goes, no, I got to work. The motherfucker's retired. Doesn't say another word to me. And I go, okay, Ubers don't run where I live like that in the morning. So now I'm scrambling for a ride to the airport next day. This is 8 p.m. on Thursday. My flight's at 8 a.m. Friday. So when I came back in town, I was like, fuck him. I don't feel the need to call him. He just left me hanging. You know what I mean? And this ain't going on vacation. This is me going to a comedy club. I'm going to work. So now you're fucking with my livelihood.
Right.
So that's why I didn't call him to go to Reds game. He got on his feelings and did all that bitch shit. I was like this.
Well, at least he didn't do the ultimate thing, because I thought where you were going with it, especially when you said he called your wife, your ex, and told her, I got your back now through the divorce. I was like, he didn't try to bang your ex, did he?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
How about that? Cut to commercial, nigga.
Oh,
We'll be right back with more Gary Springer in a minute.
I shouldn't say that was the ultimate betrayal then.
Oh, okay.
No, he didn't bang the ex. He did some bitch shit, man. You don't do that.
Yeah,
to your son?
He ratted on you, yeah.
I mean, but it didn't do any good. It doesn't affect the
listen,
divorce.
man,
It didn't affect me.
Right.
You hurt her, and now you hurt the kids. Because regardless of who I'm seeing at this point, or who I'm dating, or who I go on a date with, I go, she's allowed to date also at this point. This has been 8-9 months going on.
Right.
So I'm just supposed to sit at home, go to tastyblacks.com? Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Tastyblacks.com. gonna have to check that out. Is that real?
Oh, it's dead real.
Oh,
Look,
TastyBlacks.com.
Aries, when you're alone in a hotel and you can't go anywhere, you find every website.
Hilarious. TastyBlacks.com.
Yeah, I go straight to interracial.
Nice.
I got to put myself in the scene.
Okay.
I don't watch white on white or black on black.
You do black on white. Yeah,
It has to be.
You have a history.
I got to put myself in.
I hear you.
I'm like this. Okay, I can see where he's going with this. I can't do the black on black. I'm like this.
Oh,
That's not me.
Yeah, man. Listen. Sometimes it gets lonely, but I keep a small circle, man. I got my two best friends from life, from 4th and 5th grade, Ish and my man Ivan. And I always said, man, look, as long as my two best friends got my back and my kids love me, I give a fuck about anything else. I'm not one of these motherfuckers that even if I blew up on a major level tomorrow, you'd never see me with an entourage.
Yeah.
It'd be one or two of these guys, if not both of them, either one or the other. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, my circle's pretty small too. I remember we were in Miami on one of them tours, and it was when LeBron was on the Heat, and Dwayne was on the Heat, and Chris Bosh was on the Heat, Shannon Brown. So all the wives came to one of the shows. So Gabrielle comes to my dressing room an hour for the show, and I got this big ass dressing room. It's me on the couch on my phone. They walked in, I go, "What's up?" And I get up, and Gabrielle goes, "This is the most fucking depressing green room I've ever seen in my life."
Oh, wow.
I go, "What?" She goes, I was like, "What?" She goes, "There's nobody in here." I go, "It's just me."
Right.
Like I had my road manager,
Yeah,
got him.
yeah.
And then it's funny how all the comics ended up in my dressing room that night. None of
Right.
them ever ended up in my dressing room.
Right.
So after about 20 people in my dressing room, I go, "Hey, how come none of you motherfuckers ever in here when it's just us on the
Right.
road?" And the next night we was in Tampa, I FaceTime Gab and go, "Back to normal. Nobody's in here."
I don't like a lot of noise, man. I don't have to have a lot of people around me, man.
Yeah, I'm like
You
that
know,
too.
I just don't all that noise and chaos and just especially the older I get, it's just like for what?
When you was younger, first starting out, like in your 20s?
But no, because see, that's the thing. You know, I've always rolled solo because you got to remember. Again, when I started this, I was 14, so it was just me and my mom taking me to clubs, and that lasted for about 2 years, and then I moved out to L.A. when I was kind of like 17, and then from there, my whole come up was by myself. I was really too young to hang with anybody, so that's why it's like I never really had that comedy camaraderie or those comedy companions where you hear about guys in Boston and New Jersey all coming up together, breaking each other's balls comedically.
Yeah.
I just was always a dolo dude, man.
I didn't have that come up like most people either because I was in the military when I started.
Yeah.
And then I got lucky. The comedy offered me the hosting job, and I was headlining. And so I was just kind of out there. Like, I didn't know you could bring your opener for the
Right.
longest.
I didn't
just
either.
thought the clubs provided
I didn't either.
it.
Right.
And I was like, what? I can pick my guy?
For a long time, I didn't know what a writer was. So I didn't.
about that?
I didn't like. And here's why when I finally learned, I said enough of this shit. When I first started doing the road, they would pick me up. You know, whoever worked the kitchen, staff members, or the manager of the comedy club would come pick me up and bring me to and from the airport. Now, part of the problem with that is, you know, if you're unlucky, if you got a flight that leaves at 7 in the morning and you got to be at the airport at 6, which means your pickup might have to be 5:30. If the wait staff who's supposed to pick you up got drunk that night, then guess what? They didn't show up and you missed your flight. So between that and I would get picked up with motherfuckers' baby seats in the back, French fries, old 2-week-old McDonald's French fries at my feet. And I hated it, and I handled it for a long time. Here's where it stopped. I remember I did a club in North Carolina once, and the opener was an opener by night, but his main job, he was a professional clown. This motherfucker picked me up in the clown car, dressed as a clown, because he had a gig earlier that day. So this motherfucker picked me up in a clown boot car, dressed fully as a clown, and waiting for me at baggage claim. And I got my shit.
Did he honk?
It was terrible. It was terrible, nigga. And we got in the car, and I'm driving down the road, and every time he honk his horn, a clown tongue shoots out the front of the car. So it'd be like, beep, beep, blim, blim. And I said, no more. I want a professional car service. I'm not doing this no more. And that stopped from that day on. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna watch this going, yeah, he's gonna DM you. That's me, bro.
Right.
I'm bringing in brothers. I'm bringing in brothers now.
Right.
Yeah.
If we can, let's switch gears for a second. The Dave Chappelle closer.
Yeah.
What you think?
You talking about the
Netflix
kickback?
special. Yeah.
And I
First
saw,
of all, what'd you think of the special? I thought it was masterful.
yeah, I didn't watch it all. I watched the last 15 minutes because somebody posted because that's where the controversy came in.
Right.
And I didn't understand the pushback. To me, it's like he gave a personal experience
Right.
of somebody that he knew and what they went through, and I'm going, that's between him and that person.
Right.
He wasn't attacking a whole community.
But in terms of, because I feel like comedy is so under siege right now from the Alphabet Mafia, and particularly that group.
It's not though. This is why I disagree
You
with you.
really?
This is why I disagree. On the internet, it is. In real life, it's not. It's not affecting
But
ticket
the
sales
internet
today.
seems to dictate what happens with everything now. Canceled, woke, such and such said this. Based off what people read on the internet, people are losing jobs. People are being canceled. So does it not really dictate? It seems to me it does.
I'm talking about for stand-up. Once you go to a comedy club, everybody's still laughing at the shit.
Of
that makes
course,
you go,
but
"Ooh."
that's you being on your terrain.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you on your terrain.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of outside of that,
yeah.
a possible TV show, possible movie role, possible commercial,
I can see
it
that.
affects all
yeah,
that.
I can see that. But Dave's at a point where it's not going to affect him, just
Well,
because his fan base is so strong and loyal.
This is why I'm partly hoping that he is the one. Like Damon Wayans had a great quote. I don't know if you heard it, but when he said, because of that special, Dave has officially freed comics from slavery. And my whole thing is, I think this is a fight that needs to be had. And I think if anybody's going to lead the charge and be our William Wallace, it's him.
Yeah.
Because anybody else, and I'm not even saying, I think there are other comics whose voices could be strong enough to do it, but there's the fear of doing it.
Yeah.
And if Dave is going to be the guy brave enough to lead the charge and other powerful comics follow suit, I think this needs to happen. One of my favorite shows is Real Time with Bill Maher.
Mm-hmm.
And for the second week in a row, Bill has commented on this in favor of Dave. And he said point blank, just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I'm transphobia.
Right. I saw that.
So my thing is, because they can't seem to separate the two, everybody that has something to say comedically is transphobia. It's trans this, and it's horseshit. And I think, you know, it needs to come down to a us versus them in that way to protect the art, to protect, you know, what's supposed to be subjective. You can't scream you want equality, but then you put yourself above being able to be made fun of.
But it's similar to
but
the
let me
R
just
word.
say though, if we're talking about hurting people, taking away people's rights, that's a whole nother argument. I'll be in on the fight.
Yeah.
I'm there with them, the trans and the LGBTQ. I'm protesting with them.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about violence. We're not talking about death. We're not talking about taking away inalienable rights. We're talking about jokes,
Yeah.
perspective, jokes.
That's
and
what you
everybody
want.
should be able to be made fun of.
But here's my argument. When I'm agreeing with you, by the way, you don't make fun of people that you feel are beneath you. I think
Punching down?
punching down. You don't make fun of people like that. Like you don't. If somebody's in a car accident, right, and they're in a wheelchair, and the day after the car accident, you're going in on them. No. You can't do that. You can't go in.
That's just timing.
That's malicious.
But that's
intent.
time. But that's timing.
It's completely timing.
Timing. Now if you wait a while.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm always on the assumption that if I'm making fun of you, I'm open to be made fun of also. Go in on me. That's fine. So we're on equal terms. If I don't make fun of you, I'm like, well, I feel sorry for you, or I feel like I'm better than you, so I don't want to go there. If I am making fun of you, I'm like, we're the same. We're good. We're on equal terms. Come at me, I come at you. Like you said, the comics come up in Boston, New York, busting each other's balls coming up. Right. We should be able to do that and bust mine too.
Right.
If you're in the trans community and I say a joke about you, bust me too. You know.
You know, this is why
That sounded weird. Bust me.
especially if you look at it. What was it?
Bust
what
me
was,
in the face.
Hold on. Oh, okay. This is
Balls deep. Trans. Do it.
This is why I said that what Dave did was masterful. He addressed every talking point that could be brought up to go, you know, dangerous territory. When you just said punching down, and you said you didn't see the whole thing, so I don't know if you saw this part, but when he addressed what punching down meant,
I didn't see that part then.
see, it was masterful because it's like punching down is to go, I think less of you.
Yeah.
But if I don't think less of you, then it's not punching down. And granted, my featured comic, Andy Steinberg, he used to be big on you can't punch down because when you punch down, it ain't funny. I disagree.
Oh no.
The art and what makes it great is, yes, if it's taboo, if it's scary, if it's territory you shouldn't touch, but you can find a way to make that funny, then if it's funny, it's funny.
What'd you just say? Punching down what?
It meaning like, I think less of you.
So that's how I feel about my dad. So I'm definitely punching down on that bitch.
Okay. Literally
funny.
and figuratively.
Well, here's what's funny about that. So I just did my latest Showtime special last week. We just
Right.
recorded it. Big part of it is this somewhat the story I told you about my dad.
Right.
I get done, the director pulls me aside and goes, you know, we shoot 2 episodes and two shows and they edit it into one for the special. He said, you went in on your dad pretty hard. He was like, we don't know if we can put it in. We don't
Why?
know yet. They said because might feel like you're punching down. I said, completely. And then they said you might be trying to assassinate his character. I go, ain't no trying. It's exactly what I'm doing. And he gave up his private citizenship because he came on my podcast numerous times.
Is this a legal thing you're telling me? Like, is that real?
This is all just happened.
No,
This
but
week.
what I'm saying is because he came on your podcast, is that a technical real thing?
Oh, yeah.
Giving up your...
You can't assassinate, because it's like me and you. We can't sue everybody that attacks us on the internet or says we ain't
Well,
shit.
these white folks know the rules, nigga.
We can't. You be suing people every day. You be going to somebody every day, Aries. You
Right.
gave up your private citizenship when you decided to go on TV or to come on this podcast and everything else. Same with my dad. You gave up. You came on my reality show. You also came on my podcast numerous times. So you can't say you wanted to be anonymous and all this other stuff, something like this. So they was right. When they came, I go, everything you just said, punching down? Yeah, I'm punching down on that bitch.
But
yeah, I'm trying to assassinate his character.
Who's doing your new special?
Showtime.
So, even though this is your personal story,
Mm-hmm.
your personal experience, Showtime can tell you they don't want to air
They
something?
not Showtime. They're talking about. I guess they go through a law firm that tries to. What can I say? Get rid of the problem before it happens. So now they're trying to be like, let's protect ourselves. We don't want to get sued and everything else. So they're really. There's so much I talked about them. Like it's about 20 minutes of the hour. So we had to do 2 shows because 1 hour I talked about, and the other hour I didn't really go in. So I gave them enough to take that out and still keep an hour. So I was like, but we in fact, this is already going to be airing, but I find out tomorrow I got to sit down and we got to go over my special with them to figure it out. I said, because you can keep some of it, but I did go. I went on his wife.
On a scale of
everybody.
1 to 10, 10 obviously being the funniest. How funny was it though? The stuff when you were going in.
9.5.
Oh shit. Okay.
Just because it's personal.
Right.
It's different for a comic. It's dick pussy jokes. Great. They're amazing. They're funny. They're great. But we all got them. When you can get raw and personal, and
Right.
nobody else can tell that story but me, and our backstory and what he did to me and everything else. So it's like, I was like, man, we got to keep that shit. Plus, I really want him to see it. I really want him to see it.
Right.
How fucking dare you come at me and you weren't around when I was growing up? It's different if you was there and I turned into this
Right.
terrible human being and the Menendez brothers or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This is different. You should be every day just saying I'm sorry for everything you've done. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, please keep it. So yeah, punch down, bitch.
Yeah, man.
That's what
Listen,
they said to me.
I do a part of my stand up where I talk about, fat bitches. And, it's hilarious, man. I'm trying to be braggadocious, but it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, because again, I think it's one of those things where, look, certain things we all think, certain little bits of evil and dark shit we all feel, but it's so not politically correct or, you know, socially acceptable that we shy away from it.
Didn't you comment on something I was going through, and you said you better not fucking apologize? I had a bit on one of my specials where I talked about my cousin Tina, special needs, but I said the R word in my special.
Right.
I had no idea when I shot the special, this was 8 years ago, that you're not supposed to say that word anymore. No clue.
Shit.
I was like this. They came at me guns a-blazing, right? Took it out of the special, right? It had already aired. The problem was, it had aired 2 years later, they got mad.
Right.
So I was like, that was slow.
Right. The irony.
The irony of it all was like this. You're mad now?
Right.
It's been out.
Right,
You saw it
right.
on, you saw, and that's the problem. They saw a clip on YouTube. The funniest stuff when you talk about punching down and
Yeah.
going in, I always said, that's my cousin. I grew up with her. You didn't. So I have personal experiences with her you don't
Yeah.
have. I can make fun of her. You can't.
Right.
But that's my family.
Right.
The funniest one was the email I got. Or no, it was a Facebook message from this lady.
Right.
And she said, how dare you use that word in your special? And she goes, I have a special needs son, and he is the greatest joy and blessing in my life. And I hope one day karma kicks you in your ass and you have a child with special needs. So I messaged her back. I said, so you would like me to have all the joys and blessings in my life? She messaged back, fuck you. And just went. I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Right, right.
What you just said.
Right.
And I think I figured it out. Trans community, they can defend themselves. When you're dealing with special needs people, they're always, and I had to fly to DC and meet with 4 special needs people, and they were trying to tell me how to rewrite and tell me my jokes.
Now, when you say you had to, did you really have to, or you wanted? Or
I was
you
I was a perfect level celebrity because I wasn't as big as Dave where I could be like, F you, I'm gonna do what I want. I had the reality show coming out. They were softballing, we don't want to have to call our sponsors, who's also running commercials on Gary's show. It was, I hate to say bullied, but it was like a wink, wink, like, you're gonna play ball, bro.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And they flew me. They flew me to DC, met with this group, and I told the advocates, I said, I blame you. Just what we were talking about with trans. I said,
Right.
I don't blame these people. They're just here because you told them to be upset.
Right.
I go, I blame you guys because you keep telling them they're less than. I go, I want them to make fun of me. I can make fun of them. I'm not, like you said, punching down.
Right.
But some of the things that I've seen, it freaking happened. You know what I mean? I went to the Special Olympics, and my cousin did not run because we told her, you don't run until Shelly slaps your hand. And Shelly ran by my cousin.
Right.
Didn't slap her hand. My cousin never moved. It was a 4x100 relay.
there.
She's waiting on Shelly. It fucking happened. How do you not laugh at that? She did exactly what she was told.
The thing
Don't,
that kills
not
me
to
is-
Shelly.
The thing that kills me is when you say, how do you not laugh at that? My question on top of that is that question. How do you not laugh at that when this in here is bubbling?
Yo.
This in here is talking to you to be released. This is honesty. This is honesty. And you gotta push that down because you can't, because someone thinks it's ridiculous. And even furthermore, look, not that it would ever happen, but if you ever did a show, have you ever done a show, maybe one, and out of 1,000 shows, there's a specially challenged person at your show. 99.9% of the times, they're not there. So who are you offended for? They're not there. They don't know. If
That's what I'm
1,000 niggas are being called niggas in a place where they don't know they be called niggas, guess what you got? A bunch of 1,000 non-upset niggas.
Yeah.
We're not upset until we have reason to be.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck what you do that we can't hear and see.
But you know what got me? I played ball with them, right? And then when I came to DC the next time, none of them showed up at my show. And I went, so what am I doing? That's why I called my manager. I go, what are we doing here? I go, I just played ball with them. And not one person bought a ticket to see me.
Right.
So that's what you said. You're fucking on people's livelihood and you're not going to support them? You know what I mean? I really looked for them that week too, like
Right.
this. Because there was about 15 people in that room that day.
Right.
And DC Improv is small.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there going, where you at?
Right.
Where are you at? So you really didn't give a shit about me. I was just the perfect level to get the press. You didn't care. Because once they were done with me, they went on to somebody else. Immediately. They went to another game with Brad Williams, the small guy.
Right. The midget.
Okay. I don't want to get everybody upset with me.
He's a comic. He'd
Right.
love it.
So I'm like this. You moved on from me. I'm talking Aries. The day after they realized, okay, we got Gary, they went on to him the next day because he said the R word. I go, and that's when I went, oh, this is a witch hunt. Because I asked him, I said, what's funny? You tell me what's funny then. Give me an appropriate joke I could tell about my cousin, and they couldn't give me an answer.
Of course not. Dude, I probably already am, but unless something ultimately amazing happens, I'm probably truly going to die on this sword. Because, I'm already in the rough as far as that goes.
But you're a comic at the core. That's the thing. We don't get offended. We cannot get. My brother died of a heroin overdose. You know what I mean? The next week, Saturday Night Live did a skit about heroin. Right. Everybody DM me. You mad? You upset? I go, no, because this shit's funny.
Right.
That's how we acted.
Right.
And if my brother was here, he'd be like, they nailed that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like,
right.
Saturday Night Live writers did not get in a room and be like, Gary Owen's brother just died. Let's fucking just bury him even more. That's not what happened.
Right.
I watched it and laughed my ass off because I was like, damn, that's exactly how Dallas acted. Exactly.
Jesus. You think it'll ever go back?
Like you said, Dave's leading the charge. I hope.
I do too, man, because this shit's boring.
I saw A&E at the Improv on YouTube. I looked it up. Of all people, Doug Stanhope. When I say
I just left Orlando. He's coming there the next week. But go ahead.
When I say this was 90,
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson was hosting A&E at the Improv. They weren't even getting a comic. Smokey Robinson hosted and messed it up his name.
Right.
Called him Doug Stanhope or something. He goes, get up for Smokey. Like, this is, and then he immediately said the R word. He said short yellow bus. Everything he said in 90 on ABC, it couldn't. He literally offended like 4 different groups, and I was like, this. Oh, it's so funny.
Let me tell you something, man. There is nothing more gratifying than when you're on stage and you start out guns blazing, first couple jokes, and there's a transition period where you see it on the faces of the people in the crowd, especially with women, and particularly white women, but women, where and they're horrified, they don't want to laugh, they're looking around, this is shocking, but the deeper you go, you get them. And I mean, when you get them, you get them. It's like making a bitch come that you didn't think you could make come. Like, I got you. I wanted to conquer this pussy. That she's giving you all kind of fightings and, but then when you do it, you like, man.
And then you get divorced.
Yeah, and then that happens.
Let's get married. Fuck.
Right, now you're the one looking shocked. And, I can't believe it. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't get it when comics get offended over anything.
Dude, when Annie and I, we were doing an episode, and I think we were talking about, this was when they, was airing, Showtime was airing the Comedy Store documentary. And they were talking about how Andrew Dice Clay, there were female comedians on SNL that went, we don't want to work with him. We refuse. And I said, escort them bitches to the comedy state line. Mm-hmm. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. There's no way you call yourself a comic and you are turned off by a comic.
Exactly.
What part of the game is that?
Right.
If you are true to that badge, if you are true to that oath called comedy, come on, you should know better than that.
Exactly.
You should know better than that. And I don't want to dig too deep into this, but it's like, what's my man's name? Rich Voss. And he's married to the female comedian, Bonnie something. You know what I'm talking
Bonnie
about?
McFarlane.
Yes. She put out that documentary, Are Women Funny in Comedy? And I remember Patrice O'Neal adamantly said, no, they're not. And you know how Patrice is.
Yeah.
And listen, I've worked with too many funny women, i.e. Mo Collins, Deborah Wilson, Stephanie Weir, Alex Borstein, Nicole Sullivan, Mad TV. You can't look at the work of Carol Burnett or Lucille Ball. Of course women are funny. Of course. But it feels like with the difference between men and women in terms of, I think women are funny, but I think men are funnier because we have an immature factor that doesn't allow us to allow anything to get in the way. Where I think sometimes with women, even in the business of being funny, they have a maturity and a motherhood and a natural instinct to be more guarded when it comes to certain things. There's a maternal instinct that takes over. There's a maturity that takes over. And I think sometimes that gets in the way of them and their funny.
Who do you think is the funniest out right now, female-wise?
Sherry Shepherd, I think, is a beast.
I haven't seen her stand up lately.
Yeah, Sherry's a monster. I love Sarah Silverman. I love her bite and her edge. Whitney Cummings is funny. You know, I like Whitney, but I don't have. Listen, man. I know this might. Excuse me if I'm a little chauvinistic here, but I look at women in comedy like I look at the WNBA compared to the NBA. Yeah, we know you exist. We know you're good. But come on.
I think mine is Ali Wong.
Okay.
And being on the road with Samore as much as I have.
Samore's good. Samore's a beast.
Always,
Samore's a beast.
always new stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like
Samore's a
this.
beast. Yeah.
Yes, monster. I'll be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's always like, you know, like you said, did you see that coming in the beginning?
Right.
Like her shit, I'll be like, I didn't see that coming.
Right.
You know, I'm on the side of the stage. She's hosting.
Right.
And I'm on the side, so I'll get to watch the last 10, 15 minutes before I get brought up. And I'll be like, oh, I didn't see that coming either. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And you could tell, like, she's a comic at the core.
Yes.
That's what she's about.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
like, I'm not doing this to get a TV show. I'm not doing this to get a movie. She's
Right.
like, no, I'm a stand-up. This is what I do.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And she's a road monster.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Ollie, man, God, I saw her last year at Chappelle's summer camp.
Yeah.
And I don't want to butcher somebody's joke, but she did something about telling her husband to come on her face, and then he didn't want to do it. He goes, "How many times in your life you're gonna have a multi-millionaire say come on my face?" or some
Oh,
shit.
wow.
It's like,
Wow.
so fucking good.
Right.
How many times in your life?
Right,
It
yeah.
goes back to what you saying.
Yeah.
Yo, if I'm a comic, you got this great
Yeah,
life. Let me
yeah.
nut on your face.
Yeah. Dude,
Dude, look at the thread count
Listen,
on our towels and sheets. We can wipe it off.
One of my favorite bits by one of my favorite comedians, God rest his soul, Patrice, is an elephant in the room when he did the thing about women coming on a man's face. Like, ladies, don't you wish you could just egg on a motherfucker face? Like, come here, motherfucker, and shoot a couple of eggs on his face, and you're on the phone with your girlfriend. Yeah, girl, I just egged in that nigga's face. He in the background crying, why you tell your friends our business? Shut up, faggot. She knows I like to egg on your face. Oh, that was brilliant, man. Fucking brilliant. Oh, dude, if he was alive today,
I was just about to say, if he was still around, where do you think he'd be at right now?
let me tell you something, man. I still think Dave would be the guy. But Patrice would be on that ass.
Yeah.
Patrice, look in your rear view, Dave. Patrice is right there, nigga.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He,
I don't think Patrice, in terms of savvy, like to me, Dave can give you fast food comedy, which is that. But he also can serve you a veal flat steak chop with the bone in and a Chianti. Like he can give you that sophisticated with some violins and mandolins. He can give you that shit too. Patrice, in terms of his philosophy, close. I don't know if he would have been as good at it as Dave, but in terms of, yo, Patrice, man, was a monster, man.
I didn't know who he was. And like the second time I went to Caroline's, we're talking over 20 years ago.
Right.
He opened for me. And we just was bullshitting. I think
Right.
it was just he was a New York guy. Probably had nothing
Right.
to do that weekend.
Right.
I opened up for this young dude, Gary. But I remember just sitting around bullshitting with him, and I never really watched his act. And then all of a sudden, and it was funny because that same weekend, me, him, Kev, and somebody else were just walking around New York together and going to the cellar and everything. And
Right.
you never know how life's going to turn out. You got everybody. I mean, I don't know who the fourth person was. Who
Was
knows?
it Keith Robinson?
I don't even remember.
Oh.
I just know it was us three because
Right.
we got in an argument with these guys on the street, and I thought we were gonna fight. And the guy got mad at me. He it was a white dude with his white
Right.
girl, but he was a hip hop white dude.
Right.
And I think Patrice bumped him, but he blamed me. And then he was like, he started yelling at me, and I'm going, the fuck's he yelling at me
Right,
for?
right.
And and Patrice goes, you know I was yelling at you. He ain't trying to fuck with us.
Right, right,
and I was
right.
like, did you bump him?
That's funny.
But you just don't know how life's gonna take you, man. Like who
Yeah.
knew the four of us, like three of us, would go where we were in our careers and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Just walking around like nobody
right.
bothering us. Nobody
Right.
knew who we were.
Right, right.
Who knew Patrice is gonna be.
Some
where
of
he
his
was.
observations, man, like how do you see that like that? But when he says it, you go, it's fucking true. He was a staple on Opie and Anthony. And I remember he told one black stripper, and this was, I guess, before, getting boob jobs was really popular. But he said her titties look like Bible slingshots. Now, dude, if you've ever seen a black chick from Atlanta with flat titties, that's exactly what that is. And I'm like, motherfucker, how did you capture that? Like, that's just, yeah. He had a keen eye, man.
He had a keen eye. A Bible slingshot.
Bible slingshots,
Like
dude.
some just going back to Braveheart shit.
Man.
You know? William Wallace.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to laugh. You say some shit I don't know if I'm allowed to laugh at sometimes.
You absolutely are allowed.
Yeah.
You're comic, brother. Your
No, I'm
badge
kidding,
is
I'm
relevant.
kidding. I know, I'm kidding. Man, we've lost a lot in the last few years, comedic-wise. I was
Yeah.
just thinking about that the other day, like, all the comics that have passed. I was like, and you got John Witherspoon and Ricky
Hold that
Harris.
thought. Incidentally, and I'm only doing this now because I like to do this before we eventually come to the end, just in case somebody decides to peel off. Spears and Steinberg is the name of my podcast. So make sure y'all follow it, subscribe to it. Hit me up in my Instagram under Aries Spears, blue verification checkmark. Slide in my DMs, and I'll send you some links. Apple, Spotify, motherfucking Google, Amazon, all that shit. YouTube.
Like this.
Go back. We talk about death now. Comedians and death.
I thought you were going to say, hold up, before I die, listen, but you got to check my pocket.
That too.
I was thinking about that the other day, like, it just reminded me when you were talking about Patrice and Kev, walk around with them, but then I was thinking, God, all the people in the last couple of years that had just passed away, and I was like, I saw a picture, and it was like, 4 people were gone
Right.
in the picture. I was like, man, I don't know.
Do you know who they were? You remember?
It was Bernie.
Right.
I think it was Guy's 30th. I think it was Guy Tori's 30th birthday party.
Uh-huh.
There was a picture, and it was Ricky Harris.
All right.
And Bernie
Ricky,
was in
Bernie.
it, and I know 3 people were gone. John Witherspoon was a third. I can't remember who else, but I was just like, man, it didn't even hit you like, man. This guy's
I know
gone.
you definitely did Comic View coming up.
I hosted it.
You hosted it.
Yeah.
But before you hosted it, were you regular?
Well, that's what I did. It was a contest, and I won the contest. And if you win, you automatically became the host next year. And that's-
okay. I'm asking that to say, you ever did Def Jam?
I didn't do it when it was the real Jeff Dam, like with Martin.
Oh, right.
I wasn't even doing stand up back then.
Right.
I did it when it came back, like in
When they had
3 or 4
celebrity
years
hosts.
ago. No, like 3 or 4 years ago when Tony Rock hosted it.
Okay.
So it wasn't like the New York.
Def Jam.
That is what made me like want to do stand up for real. I had never seen a reaction like that.
Well, that's why, and I asked because I was going. I remember coming up seeing Gary on either
Comic
Def Jam,
View.
but I think it was Comic View.
Yeah.
So Comic View is really what made you and broke you
Oh, and that's why, and it's funny. I was talking to some more about it back then, and I was like, man, I thought comics was kumbaya, like you're in now. We
Right.
all got along. We're all friends. You help each other out with jokes. I don't know
Right.
why I thought that. That's what I thought when I got in this business.
It was kind of that for Def Comedy Jam in the beginning, especially if you came up in your region. Like I know East Coast, me, Bill Bellamy, Hamburger, Derek Fox, Cool Bubba Ice, a lot of those guys, my man Flex, we all came up during that time together. But I was asking because, like, it's weird when you go back and look at the old Def Jams, and I don't know if you'll say the same, but maybe if you go back and you look at some of the old Comic Views and you look at the guys that came up with you, the difference in growth in terms of delivery, energy, patience, it's crazy.
Man.
It's fucking great. Like looking back at some of those, I go, dude, you could see. I told Bill Bellamy one time, I said, dude, your nervous energy, we all had it. But you would say within your set, that's crazy, right? Like 500 times.
Yeah.
Something, so, yo, that's crazy, right? Blah, blah, blah. Yo, that's crazy, right? Now you go back and look, it's like we're all jazz musicians.
Yeah.
You know, it's a smoother flow.
Yeah.
Easier, more controlled. So I'm like, when you go back and you look at some of your shit, do you cringe? Do you,
Dude.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Right,
Fucking
right.
brutal. My first hour special, you do Comic View, do 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then that's what's funny about Comic View. Hey, we're gonna take the whole season in a week.
Right.
We want you to do 4 different sets, 5 minutes apiece, and then at the end, let's do an hour special. You're like this. When I shot my hour special, dude, it was the slowest pace because I didn't have an hour.
Right. How much did you have?
I gave up 20 in the preliminary rounds.
Right.
So I probably had 20.
Right.
They only want us to do 45 because they were like commercials.
Yeah.
Yo.
And that was pushing it.
Aries, I did a joke about Oscar de la Hoya, and I winged it on stage.
Right.
And when I say I paced, once I got a little chuckle out of it, I said, let me just keep this terrible impersonation of De La Hoya going.
Right.
And I'm just walking. I milked that joke, only thing I knew, I had a good closer.
Right.
So my whole thing was, I just gotta get to the closer.
But that walk from the beginning to the closer
Oh, my
is
God.
100 miles.
Holy shit. I was like, that clock couldn't have moved any slower. It's right in front of your face, too. You're like, I'm only at 32?
Dude,
I'm out.
It's so crazy. Like, when you're killing, a half hour goes by in 5 minutes. When you're bombing, nigga, 2 minutes is an hour.
Remember, okay, you came up with the Comedy Store. I saw you a lot at Fat Tuesday and stuff.
Right.
Dude, that room's hot.
Right.
But if it got cold, it got fucking cold. You're looking for that bow tie in that girl's head to pop on. You know,
Right.
the little thing in her hair?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
where the fuck is that fit coming on?
Listen. And this is the thing with black crowds, and I don't know if we touched upon this last time I was here. When black people love you, they're gonna do somersaults, handstands, they're gonna flip out their seats. But when they hate you, they're gonna let you know. They're gonna have you contemplating suicide.
Right.
It's just it's one extreme or the other. That's why I'm saying, like, certain parts of the country I work, I'm like, yeah, niggas. But then other places I'll be like, niggas.
It's about DC Improv.
No, I love DC.
That's what I'm saying. That's good.
Oh.
That's good.
Let me just say it again.
Let me guess. I know the bad ones. Jackson, Mississippi.
You know what I did? Here's what you do when you get older. You go, it's okay to say no. It's okay to turn shit down. Because you think there's money attached to it. You gotta have it.
Yeah.
Certain times you gotta go, you know what? I'm gonna keep my soul intact. I'm gonna keep my integrity.
Do I want to go? Do I want to go to Syracuse in January? I don't. I don't want to go to that mall.
Right.
I don't want to stay at that average Marriott. I
Right.
don't want to go there.
Right.
At all.
I don't mind that club.
I'm talking about a weekend there.
I know what you mean.
I was like, oh, God, in the cold.
Let me just say
I'm like,
this.
I'll go there in April, May.
I don't want to shit where I eat, but I think I'm at the point where I'm going to stop eating there. So maybe I can take a dump. But for some reason, and listen, I get a lot of people from the South that come and tell me, man, you one of my favorite comedians. Love you. So much love to the South. But I don't seem to feel as though I do as well there as Arnaz, Bruce, Lavelle. I'm more of a East, West Coast.
What's the
certain
city, Aries?
Midwest. Just the South, the deep, we don't read South.
Are you picking a city or a region?
I think the whole fucking thing.
Not Florida.
No, Florida's great.
Not Atlanta.
But I don't count Florida. I don't count Florida as the South. I know it is, but
You're
not
talking
really.
about like Mississippi.
when niggas is still slaves and don't know they free.
I'm not commenting on that. But just about Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas.
Deep South. That shit. And again, I'm being funny and I'm joking with y'all, so please don't get upset. But I just think of it like the movie Life, Claude Ray Gibson. I'm from New York City. Let's talk turkey. How much it costs to win them white only nigga pies and the white only pies? Like, I'm just I'm Ray Gibson. That Claude pace for me is just.
But I mean, okay, so let's go the other side of it. When I said I found out about my divorce at Captain Brian's, you gave me a reaction. That's the other side of it, right?
That club in particular was one of the worst experiences of my life. So much so, I've never been back.
Well,
I did it once.
Well, I talked to one comic. He goes, everything's good about the gig except the gig. It's great weather.
First time I
by
went
the
there,
beach.
and granted,
It's gotten better, by the way.
I've heard,
It's gotten better.
but I'm so scarred, never again.
Was you at the old one or the new one?
I think the old one.
How many years ago?
When
was
you're
it?
on stage, there's all the seafood cartoon statues. And
It's still
shit.
like that, though, but it's different, though. Was it right by the beach?
Yes.
You was at the old one.
Okay.
Yeah, the new one isn't, it ain't Ontario, California Improv, but it's way better than that old one. That old one, I had some fucking nights
Let me
too.
tell you something. And Improv, Funny Bones, all the comedy clubs, most of them serve food. But one thing isn't a bigger star than the other, even though obviously you come there to see the comedian and the food is secondary. Captain Brian's was all about the food. It was
Yeah.
all about them fish sticks
Yeah.
and them crab claws.
Lobster bisque.
And lobster bisque. And I'm on stage. I got these big cartoon creatures, statues. Like I felt like I was in Michael Jackson's basement. Nigga. It was just big, bold shit. You could see and hear the kitchen cooking everything. I'm hearing people break crab claws and lobster shells. And I'm just like, this is not conducive to comedy.
Yeah.
What is this? and it was families in there with shorts and sandals and dudes with Magnum PI shirts. And I'm like, this is not,
Yeah.
I need gritty New York cigarettes, alcohol, some fuck yous in the back being yelled. This ain't it. And it was horrible. And I trashed it so bad on the radio. Captain Brian called my agent and said, what the fuck is he doing? And I said, let's agree, I'll never be there again. Oh,
Well, I was with you. It's gotten better. I'll just put it that way.
the name Captain Brian's is wrong. That just, when you, punchlines, it's comedy. Improv, comedy. Funny Bone, these are all comedic words. Captain Brian's. Oh,
But it doesn't matter. Like you're saying, I don't want to shit on set. If you sell tickets, they're still gonna book you. It doesn't matter.
yeah, and listen, I can sell tickets certain places in the South, but I've made up in my mind, I'm not fucking with Mississippi.
Is there? Oh, it's just Jackson. That's it. I think it's the only place you can
I
go
think
to, Mississippi.
You know what? No, I take that back. I am doing a casino in Biloxi.
Biloxi's different though.
But a casino, I don't mind.
Yeah, but the casinos are different.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the country.
Let me tell you
casinos are
something. I
different.
do a joke now where I talk about Mississippian women are the ugliest women on the planet.
Mississippi women.
Yeah, atrocious.
I haven't spent enough time there.
Atrocious. Gary, let me tell you something, dude. And I've been doing this 31 years. I've been to every small nook and cranny, every major city, small city, every state within the United States, bar none. Them hoes in Mississippi are horrendous. I have never been to a place, and I remember I went to this one club. It was about the size of this fucking room where we're in. Packed, elbow to elbow. You could barely move. Not one bad bitch was in there. And it's like when you go to Miami, black, white, Asian, gorgeous. If you're a man with a sweet tooth for Spanish women, from scalp to cuticle, mwah. Mississippi is where dicks go to die. It's, dude, if I had to live there, I would kill myself. Mississippi.
You are
and-
never going to be on a David Banner album.
Let me tell you. And he looks better than the women. Let me tell you something. I had a one Mississippian, I forget where I was at, and she was offended at that joke when I did that on stage.
You were in Mississippi saying
No,
the women here are
I was
terrible?
somewhere else. I was in
Okay.
North Carolina.
All right.
But she comes up after, so I don't like the way you talk about women from Mississippi. Shit, I'm from Mississippi. And when I tell you, the bitch looked like how I sound.
Yeah.
She looked like Flavor Flav in a skirt, nigga. And she really went to me, I'm from Mississippi. Nigga, her teeth were shaped where it looked like she was opening beer bottles.
Yeah, you didn't help the argument.
Son, I'm being honest. Man.
I'm talking about her.
Oh, no, yes.
You validated what I said.
Her teeth literally were pushed out like she was opening beer bottles, dude. It was horrific. It was horrific.
So okay, other end of it, what state, not city, what state has the baddest chicks?
State. I gotta say, man, it's a mixture between DC.
Well, you went with the capital.
Yeah,
Why? Because they got jobs.
that's part of it.
DC got
Listen.
employed powerful women.
Anywhere where there's a melting pot, a mixture, a culture, it's not really one thing, is where the beauty is.
I think. I don't know about the state, but Texas got some beautiful women.
Yes.
You got to go to the big cities.
The big cities, yes.
I've never been to Lubbock. I can't validate Lubbock.
Listen, I think that when you live somewhere where life is slower, it all comes together in terms of a mentality, a pace, the way it's all built in slow. So being beautiful is not something they rush to be.
I shouldn't say Texas because I got accused online of having something in Texas.
Really?
Oh, yeah, come on now. That was the first one that came out of the box. Claudia Jordan's friend or something. Claudia Jordan had something to do with it.
Claudia Jordan is gorgeous, man.
Yeah. But Claudia's the homie from way back.
Yes.
So I was a little disappointed she got drug into my divorce right off the bat. I was like,
wow, oh.
Claudia Jordan has been a friend to me and my ex for years and never stepped out of line at all. Never overstepped her boundaries or came at me sideways. Huh?
She did now?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Like it's literally like a good friend of mine.
Right.
When I first got to LA, that was one of the first people I met because she would hang out at the comedy clubs.
Right.
And when you first get out here, you're early 20s, you're hitting on everything.
Let me tell you something. In LA, when I first moved out there, I moved out to LA when I was, how was I?
Oh, let me just finish.
Okay.
Hitting on everything.
Yes.
So obviously, you see pretty girls, you start talking to them. So 22, 23, Claudia was with a group of girls. Of course, you're just kind of hollering at the group.
Right.
But it quickly we became friends over the years. And that's what happened. So 23 years later, we're still friends.
I moved out to LA in 93, and everything happened for me so fast, so good. So, of course, I got my first piece of real money. I went out and bought this Lexus Land Cruiser. I used to drive up and down Melrose, I mean, on a Saturday, 50 times. Because back then, early 90s, that's where all the girls were. And that's where I met Claudia. And I remember, and she talked about this on the radio. My line to her was, I would always try to get broads by saying I'd buy them shoes. So I was like, girl, you got some pretty feet. She said, let me take you to the mall, buy you some shoes, get you sized up, and put some shoes on your feet. So that was and we exchanged numbers, but nothing ever happened. But yeah, Claudia was a beast.
Yeah, she got dragged in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to happen in Dallas.
Right.
But I was reading it going, oh, God.
It's crazy that you reading about your own demise.
Man, I'm sitting and I'm going, that never happened. That's the thing about me. I'm like, that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. So yeah, but Texas to me, the bigger cities.
Atlanta is amazing for the sisters.
Oh,
Amazing.
I'm sorry.
Sisters.
I was only talking about black women.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I forgot who the fuck I was talking to.
I'm sorry, but no.
What was it? TastyBlacks.com.
I'd say this. Beyond Rose might have prettiest, and I'm not into white girls like that.
Why not?
Why are gay guys gay? It just that is who you are.
Okay, all right.
But I'm saying I can equate it like that.
Right.
Gay guys,
But
why are you gay? I don't know. That's why you
but
don't know.
But you've never seen a bad white broad that you just went, God damn.
Yeah, but there was no future.
But
it's like you said. It's just if I was gonna do something, but I never approached white women. They never approached me.
So you're not even. Are you open to fucking a white woman if she's bad enough? No. So you just
it had to be no effort, damn near
falling in your lap.
I'm here, take me. That type of deal.
So you just straight Robert De Niro.
Straight Bobby. But as far as pretty white girls, that I was like, man, that is a group of pretty white women. Nashville.
Okay.
I've seen blonde-headed. They're in their boots.
But Gary, I'm not going to let you get away with this. There's got to be some reason you can give me about black women. There's got to be something.
It could be, and I don't
Is it
want to bring
you
up.
could go-
I don't
is
want
it-
to bring up childhood trauma.
No,
or
okay.
anything,
Keep
but
it positive.
But when you grow up, and I grew up in a trailer park, didn't have shit, and at no fault of their own, the girls I grew up with, 90% white girls, I just never. I felt so less of myself because I didn't have anything. Like, what do I got to offer? Nothing, you know? And then, man, I always knew anything for black girls. Black girls always would talk to me. As a teenager, if I was out, if I'm at the mall, like there'd be, you know, a couple black girls at the food court. I don't know why I always end up talking to them. From a kid. It never stopped. And then when I joined the military, we'd go to the white clubs, try to talk to some girls, nothing. And I'd talk to a black girl, and I'm an hour into a conversation now. And also we're exchanging numbers. I'm like this. And I used to do a joke about fuck who I like, who likes me.
Right.
The black girls always liked me in the beginning. So I was like this. What am I doing here?
Right.
So I don't know if that's,
Yeah,
but now I'm at a point.
But the thing is, okay, you don't, okay, from the outside looking in, your exterior, until I talk to you, and even when I talk to you, from what I get from you, you don't come off like some of these white dudes who either are trying to be black, they got the dress, the style, the teeth, the gold, the jewelry, they got that swagger. So there's a, you know, you're a very,
What are you talking about? I got a Napa Valley
listen, you have
hoodie on right
you
now.
have a very
Napa Valley.
Mayberry whiteness to you. I'm not saying you're corny or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But you have a very, like you whistle when you walk.
Yeah.
You have a very whitish thing about you, man. That's really purely white in terms of your swagger and who you are. Whereas some white dudes, like, and I'm going to an extreme bad example, but to my point, like a Vanilla Ice. When Vanilla Ice was back in the 90s, yo, word to your mother. Even though it was a facade, he still at least was trying to maybe come off in a way that black women would go, that white boy got swag.
Right.
You have no swag at all. You are very, I eat apple pie, watch baseball.
Gluten-free.
You are very white, dude. But you love the sisters.
But I said that. That's why I think that's why I always picked up black girls, because I would always, when I was single and dating and out there, I'd go to the black spots though, where a lot of white guys would. There's numerous times I'm the only white guy in the club. You know, the only white dude in the club, and I'm going with one other person. So if I'm with my boy, he's over here talking to a girl. I'm usually end up at the bar by myself, and I always tell white dudes, it's so easy to meet black women by yourself at a bar when you look like you shouldn't be there, because they approach you like, "Why are you here?"
But
Who do you
these
know
black
here?
women that would approach you and would talk to you, would it be the stereotypical, oh, he white, he must have money? Was it some
No,
of that?
I think
No?
it was more just you got to cross the board. I can't explain it.
Like,
I
dude,
never got
like looking now as a grown man, and as a man who's a fan of women, I go, okay, black women in particular, from the ass, black women have ass, black women have thighs, most of them, lips. We got black women have beautiful lips. You know, the color is a turn on. The attitude of a black woman can turn a motherfucker on. So that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, when you go, I just like black women, I go, but what is it? Is it that? The swagger, the attitude, the ass, the lips?
Yeah, you got to have curves.
Okay.
You got to have curves.
Okay.
Without if there's a future,
Right.
you got to have some curves.
All right.
But here's the funny part. I've seen this is gonna be awful. I've seen white ladies from afar with curves, and I don't know if they're white or black till you get up on. You could be in a car driving by, you're like, dang, you know. And literally, if they turn, they're white. I'm like, oh, like it kind of goes away
You
a
gotta
little
have
bit.
that secret ingredient.
I don't know what it is.
Right.
I'm not saying they're unattractive or anything. I just be like, oh, not what I thought.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Listen, and I do a bit about this on stage. The man in me, just the dude in me, if you're gonna offer some pussy, I'm taking it, regardless of color. That's just the dude in me. But who I settle down with, who I have a future with, I have to be able to feel we're relatable. And sometimes I be on my militant shit, and I need to be able to culturally know that when I lay down with you, I can smell cocoa butter and pink oil moisturizer. You know, that's what I grew up on. That's what I know. Two of my baby mothers, one black, one Puerto Rican. Now, if I'm gonna go outside of black, yeah, I'll do Spanish chick, because that's, as Paul Mooney would say, Hispanics are just niggas that can swim. So it's, you know, it's a different culture, but it's the same a little bit. Could I ever see myself with a white woman? No.
That's how I am.
No.
I can't either.
Because when we get old,
I'm like this. I can't see myself with a white lady.
right?
Like I'm like this.
Just, like I look at Ice-T's bro, Coco. What man would say no to that? She's a bad bitch. But then I go, I don't know. When they get old.
Let me tell you a funny Ice-T story. Just happened.
Yeah.
I'm in the Bahamas, and I'm sitting there this a couple months ago, and somebody's like, yo, Ice-T's here. Like, we're supposed to know each other. I just shot his TV show. He got this judge show. I was a guest.
Right.
So we had to Zoom it, but still. So I come on, and I've met Ice-T before, but I'm not sure if he knows me.
Right.
But come on, he made me feel so welcome. Hey, Gary, thanks for this before we go on the air. Thanks for coming on, man. How's it been going? Da-da-da-da-da. And said things like he knew who I was. Like, been on the road, where you been, what city, blah, blah. We get to the Bahamas. He's with the guy from Shark Tank. The black guy of Shark Tank.
Draymond, John, the bald black dude?
Yeah.
I know you're talking
Fubu
about.
guy.
Yes.
I felt bad. I don't know his name.
I'm actually about to do
God damn it.
a thing in Miami.
What's his
the
name?
end of November. Draymond, Shark Draymond.
Is
Yeah.
it Damon? Can we look it up? Because I want to make sure I'm in
he's
good
going to be
graces
at
with
this
him.
Miami conference I'm doing soon. Yes.
What?
Damon John.
Damon Johns, yes. Should know his name, but he's with him.
Right.
So the guy that's my waiter, hey, your man's there. I go, who's my man? He goes, Ice-T. I go, oh, okay. I said, so I get done eating, go to Ice-T, literally just say hello. I don't want nothing else. So I come up behind him. I said, how's it going, man? And I gently touch his shoulder. I don't think he ever looked, but the whole table looked at me like, oh, fuck, a fan. Like, there was like 10 people.
Right.
And literally he just goes, blessings, brother, blessings. And he like shook my hand like this, and I
And
went.
didn't look at you?
No, I literally, my hand, I went at the table. We're like this. I went. And I walked away, and I
Right.
went. I got the fan hello, and nobody. It was all white people at the table, by the way.
And let me tell you
And
something.
I just went. Fuck,
but did
dude.
he know who you were? Did you ever find out if he knew who you were?
I don't know. He never
Okay.
turned around. This is how it is. So, damn, Eric, you spilled a lot of water. He's here, so I just went, hey, man, literally very softly. Hey, how's it going, man? I thought he would look back and like, oh shit, G, right? Blessings, brother, blessings. And shook my hand like this. So he never really looked back, and I didn't want to be like, it's me, Gary. So I just curled my hand up and went, the fuck?
Right.
Was a
Like
I got the
almost like
fan.
he almost you tried to give him a high five and he ignored you. Not on purpose, but he just
Yeah.
didn't see you, so you had to do the I'm on camera. So I have to make up.
But
for
everybody's
this.
looking at me now at the table like, God damn it now. Everybody thinks I'm some fucking man fan in the Bahamas that interrupted
Right.
his dinner. That's not what I wanted. I literally just want to be like, it's weird with celebs.
Right.
Because if I don't approach him, Gary was acting funny.
Right.
Now that I do approach him, like, fuck.
Dude.
That's why we don't approach each other sometimes.
Let me tell you. Incidentally, nicest fucking guy in the world. He actually was our first guest that we interviewed for our podcast.
You talking about Ice-T?
Ice-T. We
Oh,
did it.
this was not an indictment on him.
Right. Okay. No.
'Cause
I
he
know.
never looked back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we actually went to his house to do it. So I went to Ice-T's house in New York. Fucking the garage, the McLaren, the Ferrari, then the Phantom, and then there's a thing that takes the car up to the second level elevator. So it just so happened for me. And way early in the 90s, there used to be a show on, I can't remember the name of the show, where they would have celebrities interview celebrities. So he interviewed me for the first time. And I remember this was back in the 90s where I wore a yellow bubble coat with a yellow matching New York Yankee hat. And this is what really dates it. I had the snow goggles on
Jesus
top of the
Christ,
hat,
dude.
like Usher. So he interviewed me that first time. Since then, we'd bump into each other. So he knew who I was.
Mm-hmm.
But when he knows you, it's blessings, brother. But it's different.
Yeah.
You know, he's very giving, very cool dude, man. Very cool.
I'm sure he is. I just was like, fuck.
That's
and I was looking around
hilarious.
like, I literally wanted validation from the 10 people at the table, like, none
Right.
of you?
Right.
I'm just gonna walk away.
Right.
Like, I literally just walked away like, why the fuck did I just go up and
Dude,
say hello?
that's why I would be scared to meet Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan, other than Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan is the only dude who makes me nuts. And I just went, I've heard too many stories where he can be an asshole. He's a nice guy. You got to meet him at the right time.
That's
meet him with the
everybody,
right
though.
person.
You think about everywhere he goes, he's noticed. Everywhere. So
Yeah,
it's all
but no,
about
but listen,
how you meet him and where
Shaq
you
is
meet
the
him.
nicest motherfucker on the planet.
Without question. The white tigers exist, like you said. You know what I mean?
Right.
For somebody to have your whole, it almost goes back to Evander Holyfield had this amazing house, and I guess Rick Ross lives there now in
Yeah.
Atlanta, and he was
Yeah.
like, why would you need all that? And they're like,
Right.
that's the only place at certain points of your life, at certain points when Evander beat Tyson,
Right.
that you could go and decompress. So yeah, you do need the big house. I
Right.
gotta move around. It's the only place I can move.
Right,
So
right,
I
right.
didn't understand. I was like, oh, now it makes sense.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense. So Jordan, like, I think I've met him twice.
You met him?
Yeah,
Is
twice.
he a nice guy?
It's all how you meet him. He
Ah!
probably wouldn't even remember meeting me. And the person I met him with, it was hysterical. Haywood Workman, who was a referee now, but then used to play for
Yes,
the Pacers.
yes.
But played against Jordan when it was the Pacer Reggie
Right.
Miller and they was going at it. We was in Tampa for the Super Bowl and we was at a Jordan party and Jordan just came in. I'll never forget. Haywood goes, hey, it's my man Gary. He goes, how you doing? He goes, stop fucking with my players to Haywood because he was reffing.
Right.
So he still
Okay.
was Jordan. Stop fucking with my players. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
I was
right,
like,
right.
I feel so privileged to have I got to see a side of him that you don't
Right.
see.
So was it just a quick, hey, how you doing? And that's it?
Yeah, he acknowledged me, but it wasn't like I know who you are type deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't really know.
Did
And
he-
the other time I can't even remember was I know I met him twice, 2 different times. That was it.
Right.
But it was such a public setting and so many
Right.
people there. But it was, it was funny because just seeing that side of him, hey, stop fucking with my players.
Right. Well, that's
You know?
why I love The Last Dance so much. Because we finally got to see not the, if he is me,
Yeah.
I said, and I had heard stories where I was like, dude, I would give anything to hang around with this motherfucker. No cameras, cigars, liquor, because he's got to be a motherfucker away from that clean shit.
Yeah.
And I remember Bill Bellamy told me, he was like, hey, man, one time I met Jordan, and I said, yo, Mike, what's up? And Mike showed me a lot of love. And I was like, yo, Mike, you know who I am? He said, Mike goes, yeah, I got cable, nigga.
But we forget.
Yeah.
We forget when I was in Oklahoma a couple years ago, and the Celtics were staying at the same
Right.
hotel I was, and I go out and the bus pulled up, and all the Celtics was on the bus, and I walked out, and like 4 guys, like literally heads went against the dang thing. It was like, oh shit, that's so boy, and my opener's like, yo, they fucking know you, and I said
Right.
the same thing. I go, yeah, motherfuckers got cable.
right.
Like my opener was freaking the fuck out.
Right.
That like Jason Tatum.
Right.
And Marcus Smart knew who I was.
Right.
Up there, oh shit.
Well,
And
you know,
forget that
it's
they're
wild.
young.
Right.
This is all new to them. They're like, oh, that's the dude I saw in that movie or
Right.
that TV show or
Well,
comedy show.
it fucks me up because, again, you take yourself out of it, and I go, I know I'm supposed to know them, but so many times I don't expect people to know me. So when certain people will go, yo, man, I'm a fan, or show me love, I'm trying to maintain my cool, like, oh, okay. But inside I'm going, this motherfucker knows who the fuck I am. It's crazy. And I'm such a fan of their shit, so to get that acknowledgement is just like, it's nice, man.
Yeah. I mean, you don't expect it. I remember like Ty Law went in the Hall of Fame last year.
Right.
And his acknowledged me
Right.
at the bottom of the screen because he got the people you got in your speech, but then
Right.
boom. But I've known him for 10, 15 years now. And it just, you forget, like, he's been out of the league now for 7, 8 years. I'm like, oh, that guy was a fucking beast. when he was in the league.
Ever had a famous female celebrity that knew you who kind of fucked you up?
Yeah, when I first came to LA,
Yeah.
Lark Voorhees
Oh.
from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Like, keep in mind, this is late 90s.
Oh yeah.
She was,
Yes.
that was just coming from Martin getting
Yes,
engaged, right?
yes.
We were at Magic's Midsummer Nights. when he-
Classics.
Oh,
Them
You like
parties
black
he used
women?
to throw. Oh boy.
the Magic weekends?
Oh boy.
So I remember I couldn't get into one of
Right.
the after parties at the Hangar in Santa Monica.
Right.
And she grabbed my hand and they said, Lark, who you with? She goes, I'm with him. And she grabbed my hand. I went, what the fuck?
Oh,
and
you
she
just-
got me to the party and she goes, I just think you're so funny. And like then left. And I'm going, this was like before everybody had cell phones like that.
That solidified your black women love.
Yeah.
If that
Lark
was it.
Voorhees?
That was it. That was it.
She goes, yeah, I'm with him. And she dragged me to the park.
Right.
She saw I couldn't get in, but I was being polite. I
Right.
just, for whatever reason, the list I was on, and I wasn't,
Right.
I was just a Comic View guy then. I didn't
Right.
really have the clout. So I was just like, dang it.
Did you keep your cool?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I've always been good at keeping my cool, even
Right.
when I was freaking out a little bit.
Right.
So Lark would be one that I was like, whoa. And anybody else that I was just shocked. Chili from TLC. Shocked that she was like a fan.
Wait, which one was Chili? That's
Usher.
long hair, right?
Usher,
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah. I actually, she knew who I was too, and we were cool for a little while. But I
She's a stand-up fan
yeah,
though.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
is.
I was shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
Chili?
Yeah.
And you know, man, when I was in the military and Red Light Special came out,
Right.
and she had the white dude in the video.
Right.
So of course I was like, okay,
Right.
that's the one.
Right. That's funny.
That's the one. But even when like later on when I was more established and I did the Tom, did you ever do the Tom Joyner cruise?
No, but I've done this radio show a million times.
Yeah, but you would have crushed on the cruise.
How was the cruise, man? It was just one big
shit
party,
was-
right?
Only problem is you can't go anywhere. Like it's a constant selfie fest.
Right.
You know, they put rules, no pictures at the in the dining room or stuff
Right.
like that. But you're mingling amongst the fans for the whole cruise, which
Right.
that can get on some people's nerves. But
So I thought it was just strictly Tom and all his people. Like there's regular folk on the.
no, it's the cruise. People pay a lot of money to be on that cruise.
Okay, I thought it was just Tom and all his.
Nah, it
Oh.
went down.
Right.
I'll put it that way. It went
right,
down.
Right. Oh, okay.
You know
Say
what I
no
mean?
more.
But it was like it was just so much fun. It's the black people that the media should be covering. It's the educated college graduate crushing it in life
Right.
type people. It's like
Right.
this. It's like, why aren't you covering that? Why do you cover this? You know what I
White
mean?
folks only cover niggas on slave ships. Those are the only cruises we cover niggas on. We don't do regular luxury ships. I don't give a damn about your goddamn education, nigga. Show me how you pick cotton.
Okay. Again, I don't know if I can have that. But yeah, you would have killed on that cruise. But what were we getting at? On that cruise, you know, they had all the singers and everything. So it was
Yeah.
always like when Salt and Pepper was like, when are you performing? We want to make sure we're there. I was like,
Right.
what? Really? Salt and Pepper?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because those are the people when I was coming up, that's what I went to prom and junior high dances to and
Yeah,
stuff. I'm like,
absolutely.
whoa, these motherfuckers know who I am.
Yeah, man. It was wild. We Salt and Pepper when they did Mad TV. I said I gotta bust out my rap impressions. So I just walked up to Salt and I just started doing LL and Jay-Z, and she was like, "Oh my God, Pepper, you gotta hear him." And so, like you just said, man.
They're so down to earth.
Yeah, man.
Salt and Pepper, both
yeah,
of them.
Yeah,
And
very.
Spinderella,
too. Yeah.
Most down to earth people I ever met in my life.
Yeah, man, it's just amazing. It's like once you come up in the same game, even though what you do is different, it's almost a fraternity. You know, it's like the respect is given. If they know you, even if you grew up on them and go, I had your picture on my wall, or I listened to you on my Walkman, on my CD player. All that goes away when they go, yo, I know you and I'm a fan of yours too. So that's pretty cool, man.
But think about all the downtime as an athlete, since we're clearly we're athlete, and if you're on tour,
Yeah.
especially now, what are you doing? You're getting on YouTube, or back in the day, you got the Def Jam DVDs and stuff.
Right.
So you're on these people are on tour buses watching us or
Right.
Comic View DVDs, and just like Sundays we're watching NFL, we're
Right.
watching Thursday night
We're
basketball.
a fan of each other's, genre.
Yeah, and I don't think I realized what an impact we have until I got a DM from somebody on the Buffalo Bills, and he was at training camp, and this wide receiver, I think it was Steven Johnson or something. Like he was the guy for a couple years in Buffalo.
Right.
The guy goes, "Yo," it was some white dude or mixed dude hit me
Right.
up and go, "Yo, we're at training camp,"
Right.
and he put one of my specials on in the locker room, like, "Yo, watch this motherfucker, man."
Right.
You don't realize now you
You
got
know a lot of football dudes, man.
yeah. You don't
Yeah.
realize you got 53 guys now watching you
Right.
all cracking up. And the guy goes, "Dude, I didn't know who you was, man. But man put you on in the locker room."
Let me tell you something, dude. First time I met Warren Sapp, Such an asshole to me. But he didn't know who I was.
Hold on.
He's
He's an asshole to a lot of people.
Okay,
I got some asshole WhatsApp stories.
I tried to say hello as politely as I could, and he hit me worse than the blessings. He didn't even look at me and say shit. He just went, But then, like...
And that's the norm,
right,
by the way.
And a gazillion years later, he saw me, same plane, same flight, all that. He was like, yo, brother, yo, you funny, and da-da-da-da-da. And I had to bring it up. I said, nigga, you don't remember the first time you met me? You was such an asshole.
Was he laughing?
He was laughing, but he was like, hey, man, I just, I was like, damn.
No, he was... Man, I got a couple asshole WhatsApp stories like this. What the fuck I do to you,
You're
bro?
right.
He got me one time. Oh, we was in Tampa for the Super Bowl. When the Super Bowl was when Pittsburgh played Arizona.
Right.
All the you guys came out to my show, like Andre Johnson,
Right.
Santana Moss, Clinton Portis. All those guys came out. So they're like, "Yo, we're going over here to the Hard Rock. Come meet us." So I go meet them over there, but I guess it's Warren's section that they're in,
Right.
right? So I go up. Andre Johnson walks up and goes, "Warren, this is Gary." I got my hand. I'm like this. Nothing.
See, that's what I thought you would have went.
No, I was like this. I kept it up there. I was like, and he goes, "Yo, this the dude we just saw, the comedian." He goes, "Oh, okay." So then he shakes my hand, right?
Right.
Fast forward 30 minutes later. I'm not drinking anything at his table. I'll go to the bar and get a drink because I don't know him.
Right.
I'm there with my road manager, Brad. I don't want to look like we're freeloading. So we get a drink. Clinton Portis literally goes, "Hey, G, pour me a drink, man." "All right, what do you want?" I'll never forget Ciroc and pineapple. Got it. I grabbed the bottle of Ciroc. Warren ran at me like I was Brett Favre. He runs up and Clinton goes, "Yo!" He's pouring me a drink. I just remember he looked at me. He looked at the Ciroc, looked at me, looked at Ciroc, and shook. He went, and walked away. And I went, "What the fuck?" And I got the bottle of my hand, and Clinton goes, "He's just different."
That's a great story. I wonder what he would have done if he hadn't yelled out that you were pouring him a
I don't
drink.
know. I'm sitting there holding the ball like this. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Right.
And then he just went off somewhere else. And then Clinton goes, "Yo."
He
But
just
when I
different.
looked, I remember when I brought the drink over like I'm a fucking bitch to
Right.
Clinton. "Hey, man, here's your drink." I go, "Hey, what's going on?" He's different, man. Like, he's almost like you got no Warren.
Right.
Like they've all seen it. Like
right.
now it's like,
Right.
oh, but I'm sitting there going, the fuck just happened?
That's funny,
I'm
man.
clearly with the group.
Right.
And even if I was pouring a drink,
Right.
That's
That's a great
clearly
story,
saw me hanging
man.
out for like an hour.
Right.
Is what is. So you're not the first one. So
That's
maybe
a
he'll
great
see me on a
fucking
plane. I'm
story.
gonna bring that up. Warren, what the fuck? Was he low on Ciroc or pineapple? Or was
Right.
that the last bottle you were getting comped? What was it?
Man, he an intimidating dude, man.
Warren?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not big like that, like a
Right.
D lineman big.
Yeah.
To be as good as he was.
Yeah.
He's not he's not Calais Campbell.
Right.
Like, that motherfucker's not. I was shocked.
Well, you really know football because you Calais. I don't even know who the fuck that is.
You know Calais Campbell?
Dude, I'm not a football dude, man.
He's on the Ravens now. That motherfucker's a beast.
Yeah, I played Madden on 2K, but other than that,
You're more NBA and boxing.
yes, I'm not a football guy, man.
All right. Okay. We should have talked boxing earlier. What did you think of the Fury Wilder trilogy?
It was good. You know,
They fight 10 times. I think Fury wins.
Yes,
Every
majority of the time. I'm a little disappointed in my man Mike Tyson because I really was hoping the Roy Jones fight was a stepping stone to I'm coming back.
Really?
But now he's fighting Logan Paul in February.
Is he?
Yeah,
No.
Mike. I would rather Mike just don't fight. Like,
Are you
come on, man.
serious? He's
Yeah,
fighting
he's
Logan?
fighting him. Like, why are you
I
fighting
missed
that
that.
clown?
I missed that.
Yeah, like I listen, man.
Are they okay? They clowns or it's such a money grab?
Yeah, both, whatever. But come
Somebody offers you all
on,
kinds of
man.
money.
I hear that, but I listen, and this is where everybody gonna go, man. You crazy? I still believe if Mike Tyson truly got his shit together, he could be champ again.
Oh, okay. I don't.
Gary,
He's
who?
50-some years old.
Okay, so is Foreman.
But Tyson Fury is 270.
Okay,
That is so much
and he's a
bigger than
little
Mike.
doughy in the middle,
Yeah, but
and Mike still got that Mike punch.
so does Wilder. But I'm saying he's doughy in the middle, but the way he moves and he's not muscle bound, so he's not getting muscle, like the oxygen isn't going to the muscles like we say. You see muscle bound guys get tired quick. I think Tyson Fury is one of the best all time.
I think
I didn't believe it.
I think he's good with what he has to work with now. But I think if you put him back in that class with a young Lennox, Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Tyson, Michael Moorer, he gets his ass chewed by every one of those dudes.
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
I disagree with you.
Really?
I think Lennox was the most underrated heavyweights because I think he was so good. He was so good. Got caught by Oliver McCall, who, by the way, if Oliver McCall would have ever kept his mental right,
Right.
there's two people, Ike Ibuche and Oliver McCall, that I was like, if they could have just kept their mental together.
Right.
Ooh, Ike Ibuche? People don't remember how fucking devastating that dude was.
No, he was a beast.
And never saw him get hurt.
What do you think about David Tua?
No, I think he was all right.
You
He was
thought
like,
so?
yeah, had the one punch, but
Right.
I was like, I think Lennox kind of exposed him a little bit.
Right.
I was like this. I think he had so many violent knockouts in the beginning.
Right.
I think people were like, oh, it's the next dude. But once a guy really knew how to box, like, I think like Fury, when you know how to box, you know how to avoid those punches, like.
Yeah, but
And he's got a chin because he got
so-
caught.
Okay, so I hope to God you answer this correctly. A prime Mike Tyson, Kevin Rooney, Customato Mike Tyson destroys Tyson Fury, right? Come on, Gary, say yes, say yes.
Hold on,
Gary,
let me just.
come on,
I don't
Gary.
want to give you a quick answer.
Oh, Gary,
let me
you're
think.
supposed
Hold
to.
on.
You're supposed to. You're
No,
supposed
hold on,
to.
hold
Come
on.
Gary.
I think
Customato Jim
Prime
Jacob.
Mike Tyson.
Yes, Kevin Rooney Mike Tyson. Teddy Atlas Mike Tyson.
yeah, he probably beats Tyson.
Beats
Fury.
the shit out of Tyson Fury.
It's so hard. Here's my thing about Tyson Fury. It's so hard now to bet against him. He's the only guy since Ali that calls it. He fucking calls it.
Yeah, but look who he's calling it against.
Deontay Wilder could punch
Okay,
against anybody.
other than Deontay Wilder, who is he really? Like who?
Well, I thought he was gonna get mopped by Klitschko. I really did. I was like,
I
he's gonna
never
get
thought the
mopped.
Klitschko's were that great.
They were. Here's the thing about Klitschko's. They were great. They were just technical, and they didn't take chances to become great. They could have been, but they never wanted to take that chance to become great because I think they. Well, the older one was better. I thought Vitaly was better than Vladimir. Vitaly was a monster when he fought Lennox.
Right.
That's when I was like, "Oh, this guy's really good." But you know, that was the cut to stop that fight. That fight was going back and forth. They was throwing haymakers. I thought Vitaly was better than Vladimir, but Vladimir had the
Vitaly was the
older one,
Older one,
the one that
right.
fought Lennox.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes.
Vitaly was better than Vladimir.
Right.
Vladimir got caught, and from that day forward,
With
I've
Lennox.
never taken chances.
Right.
When he got caught by Corey Sanders,
That's right. Corey
he got
Sanders,
knocked
my bad,
out,
My bad.
and
yeah.
at that point, he was like
Right.
this. You know what? I was going to jab my way the rest of my life.
Right.
I was like this. He got scared. He didn't trust his chin.
So you don't think that if Mike Tyson truly got his shit together,
Not now. He's 50
you don't
some
think
years
so?
old. No, hell
He
no.
still has the power.
I don't think
And
so.
his speed is not that far off.
No, I just disagree. And his body's been abused so much. By his own accord, he's like, dude, I abused my body. You know what I mean? I lived the life. I think he did drugs we don't know exist.
Well, I read his book, and his book was a non-put-down book. I read it from cover to cover quickly. Yeah, he said he did a lot of coke.
Yeah.
Said he fought a lot of his fights coked
I'm saying it goes back to Jason Kidd when he got the title with the Mavericks and he was 40 and they said, how are you playing like this and you're not aging? He goes, it ain't the games that age you. It's what you do in between the games that age you.
Right.
It ain't the 82 games that you're playing 30 minutes.
Right.
You can do that until you're 50. It's what you
Right.
do in between. So that's what I think with Tyson right now. No matter how good a shape he's got, it's going to catch up to him eventually. I don't think so. But you're such a Tyson fan. It's
I'm
like
a
the
Tyson
Jordan.
fanatic,
It's like the Jordan
man.
LeBron shit.
Well, wait a minute now. When you say the Jordan LeBron shit, you're saying that to say what?
If you're a Jordan fan, there's not a LeBron fan that can change your mind. If you're a LeBron fan, there's nothing a Jordan fan can change your mind.
But wait. Now the boxing, I can see where you're going for, but the basketball, don't make it seem like it's an era thing. LeBron's not my era. He's not Jordan. I watched, saw. When you do the eye test, based on what you've seen MJ do and LeBron do, LeBron is not better than Michael.
Here's my thing with LeBron and Michael. To me, Michael broke my heart like I've never had somebody break my. I was a Knicks guy. I was a Ewing guy.
Okay.
I came up Georgetown, Patrick Ewing. So for that reason alone, I would never go against Michael Jordan. I was like, I saw it too many times. Too many fucking times. I saw it. I was like this. We got him. We're up 3-2. We got him. Fuck. When they won game one in like 92, I was like, done.
Right.
Now it's done. I was like,
Right.
this fucking guy. But I will say this. LeBron and Michael never made more guys multimillionaires that didn't deserve it. Think about all the people that left the Bulls, the Luke Longleys, the B.J. Armstrongs and stuff, that got these big contracts.
Right.
And then it repeated itself. Cleveland wins, Dylan Nadova. All these guys got these big deals. And I'm like this. Dude, just send your 10% to LeBron, not your agent.
Right.
Like, you
I
got
don't
that.
doubt. Okay, I got that part.
Both those guys. And I just think it's LeBron. It's Michael and LeBron. And that I saw play,
So Michael's first.
yes. LeBron second.
Okay, so I gotta ask, and this irritates me, and it irritates a lot of people. You put LeBron over Kobe
I do. But Kobe's amazing. But I do.
based on what?
Kobe had years where his team was down. They were down. They didn't make the playoffs. LeBron just consistently, till we got to the Lakers, which I think, his body's starting to slowly break down a little bit. So pre-Laker LeBron. I don't even count the title with the Lakers. Once he got to the Cavs, then he got, let's say his last year with the Cavs, all the way to the Heat years, back to the Cavs. I go, dude, them Cavs team, you take LeBron off, they're in the lottery. They're in the lottery. And he took them to the finals.
Okay, so let me ask the question that the people have asked on social media, and this is one of the reasons why they will put LeBron ahead of Jordan. If you take Jordan, put him on that same garbage Cavs team, he don't take them to the finals.
Yes, that's why I said he's the best.
Okay.
I said he's
No, but the argument people will go, Michael couldn't do that. You couldn't put Michael on that Cavs team and take them to the finals.
How about this?
Come on.
I don't know who the fuck Luke Longley is. I don't know who the fuck he is. I don't know who John Paxson is. I don't have no fucking. You tell me John Paxson like this. Who? Played Notre Dame?
Right. Right.
Those players that I have no fucking clue who they are.
Right.
I only know them because they play with Mike.
Right.
And they did big shit with Mike.
Right.
No, Mike broke my heart too many times for me not to say he's the greatest.
Right.
Similar to Tom Brady.
Okay.
There's no reason I could say he's not the greatest quarterback. I said, dude, I root against him in every Super Bowl.
You're from Cincinnati, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so are you a diehard?
Bengals.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, we got Burrow now, baby.
Okay.
Oh, woohoo.
Okay.
We got the closest thing we ever had
Right.
to a Montana Brady type dude. And I was talking to Andre Johnson and an agent, and they said the difference between Burrow and a lot of these white quarterbacks that are like number one pick or high draft picks, they go, he's from an area of the country, and I know this area, Athens, Ohio, where it's just white poverty, broke. And he's like this. The only way out for him was football. Even though he wasn't broke because his dad was a coach, the outlook on life was never, you could be a lawyer, you could be an astronaut, you could do this. It's like, your only way out of this shit is football. So his dog is a little different. That's why he don't slide. That's why Aaron Rodgers had to tell him, dude, you got to slide, bro.
Right.
You want to be in this game? His dog is like, nah, fuck that. And like, you don't know me, bitch. The games they lose ain't because of Burrow.
Right.
I'm telling you that.
Because I know at one point you guys, he was y'all's bread and butter at the receiver. But between
Ocho Cinco?
Yeah, between Ocho Cinco, Terrell Owens, and Randy Moss, greatest receiver.
Randy Moss.
Really?
Not even close.
So you ain't going with your boy for the Bengals?
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Randy Moss?
Right.
How about this? The one time Randy Moss had a Hall of Fame quarterback, Tom Brady, he broke all the records. Other than that, you had Dante Culpepper, and this is not a knock on Dante. If you get to the NFL, you're amazing. You're an amazing athlete. You're a fucking beast. You're a freak of nature. But Dante Culpepper, I don't know who the fuck, Jamarcus Russell when he was with the Raiders, he didn't have it. And then he gets he had Randall Cunningham, who basically resuscitated his career when he was a rookie of Minnesota. Then he gets to New England where they thought he was done with the Raiders, and he gets with fucking Brady, breaks all the freaking run like this. People forget he went to the Niners. He was on the way down, but he went to Super Bowl with them with Kaepernick. I'm like this. I'm like Randy Moss. And Chad's my guy.
Right.
I'm taking Randy Moss, then I'm taking Terrell Owens, then I'll take Ocho.
Damn, you
If
got
you're in
Ocho
that
third?
order. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the only reason I take him, Terrell Owens over Ocho is just a size factor.
Right.
He's just so physical and big. They played together and we sucked.
Right.
We had Ocho and Tio on the same team. We sucked. We sucked. We were 4-12. We sucked. No. Randy Moss over anybody.
Right.
You ever met Randy?
No.
That's like my boy, man.
Yeah?
We got to know each other after he got out the league. He's a country dude. I told my guy.
Dude, how do you meet all these? Because you and Alex Thomas, I don't know if you're as extensive as Alex. Alex knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you know a lot of football dudes.
Yeah, football is my sport.
So how do you know all these dudes? Like,
I don't know. They just come out. Like, they come to my shows. I met Randy after a show in Charlotte. And then, I don't know, we became cool. And then when he got in the Hall of Fame, when they announced at Minnesota, he asked me to do a private party for him. And I went. And that's when I knew how people felt about him, because that was when the Eagles played the Patriots, and it was in Minnesota. That was the coldest fucking Super Bowl I've ever been to in my life. And Robert Kraft came out. Like, all the Patriots that were currently on the team came out, just stopped by and say hi. I don't know, we just got cool after that. Like, Randy, I'll go to Charlotte, I'll call him, we'll go have lunch. And then he picks me up in his pickup. And I told my boy, I said, Randy Moss, my opener now is out of Pittsburgh. He's a huge football fan. He goes, what? No. I go, yeah, we're going to go eat Randy. And he goes, no fucking way. I said, now watch. We're going to get in his car. He's going to have fucking dirty gym clothes. We have a fishing pole in the back. It'd be lures. I go, you would never, this is a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Right.
Randy picked us up. I think that motherfucker had paint on his Nike shorts.
Really?
Like this. What's up, man? Moving shit.
So he's like a country dude.
Beyond country. I said, why you moved to Charlotte? He goes, man, I like to fish. So they got big bodies of water out here, man. I don't like ocean. Fuck that. I like to put my pole in the ground, the bobber go under. I like bass. That type of deal. Motherfucker, go to his Instagram. It's all fishing. You didn't know he played football.
Dude, I'm going to tell you who my guy is. Michael Irvin.
That's your dude?
Dude, there was a moment in time where at first I was a guest on Best Damn Sports Show. So I did like a couple episodes. But they were really loving what I was doing. So the producer goes, hey,
I do remember you on there.
Yeah, he goes, dude, we want you for the whole summer. So they locked me down every week for June and July. And this was when Mike Irvin, this was when they had the best cast. Tom Arnold, Mike Irvin, John Sally, Chris Rose, and John Kruk. And Michael is the most fun-loving, energetic. He's a real handsy guy.
Yeah.
Like when he laughs and he talks, he grabs
But
you.
how strong are his hands?
Oh, he's strong motherfucker. But he's just very physical. And when he love you, he love you. So in the mornings, we would do the pre-meetings to talk about what was going to be on the show. And I would do some of my impressions. That motherfucker would fall out of his chair, go crazy. And I remember one time they were having a heated discussion, Irvin and Kruk, about football versus baseball. And fucking Irvin had the best line. They're going at each other hard, like two dogs barking. And Kruk just said, well, you remember one thing, Michael. Baseball is America's pastime. And Michael Irvin goes, well, you remember one goddamn thing. Baseball might be America's pastime, but football is America's passion.
I can see Michael hit his chest. He ain't lying.
Man.
He ain't lying.
But he's such a great dude, man. That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
Irvin's a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Every time I met him, it's been the same way. He's the type that if he's laughing, he's grabbing the guy next to him and
Right,
shaking
right,
him,
right,
laughing
right,
type shit.
yeah.
You know, I was on that show for one episode,
Uh-huh.
and I did this thing. I pitched him. I said, hey, let's do a thing called the White Report, where I just describe how the white guys did over the weekend.
Right.
And
Did you do it?
Oh, we did it one time, and the news is when they went to the news. They did their
Yes,
version.
yes.
And it was
And
a black guy.
dude with the glasses.
He got
Yeah.
fired.
Yes.
He got in an argument with the producer, so my segment got cut. It was supposed to be like his site. He was supposed to kick it to me.
right,
And we was
right.
going to do it once a week.
Oh, that would have been funny.
We did it once.
Right.
Went over great. And then they go, hey, he got in an argument with the producers. He goes, so they fired him. And they go like this. They're like, we're trying to figure out where we can fit it into the show. So we'll get back to you. AKA, it never came back. And I was like this. God damn it.
Yeah,
That was like
man.
the one thing I did where I pitched and I came in character. I had a Mark Mattson jersey. He could play for the Lakers.
Right.
A headband. And I pitched him how I saw the segment. We did it, and it was perfect because the week we did it, Kobe got food poisoning like in Sacramento. And I was saying, I go, food poisoning. You don't see white guys getting food poisoning, not with our cast iron European stomachs.
Right. Dude, that black guy is one of the news anchors in Sacramento now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the key news anchor.
Thanks, fucker.
Yeah.
You had to get in an argument that week?
Right.
Man, I
Yeah.
remember they called me. I was like, I'm all geeked. I'm like, oh, fuck, it went over.
Oh,
Now I got a gig.
Dude, that was such a great time. And I remember my last day there, Tyson came. And this is when he lost to Lennox Lewis. And I remember they did this huge buildup. Mike Tyson. They had a countdown in the corner of the screen. They show him coming up in the limo, walking out. The limo follows him through the hallway up the elevator. So I'm standing outside, and I don't like wearing suits. I don't wear a suit for nobody. But I was so excited. I was like, man, I'm putting on a suit. So I put on a suit. So I'm leaning against the hall, and here comes Mike. And I leaned down and go, hey, Mike, I just want to, and Mike made a beeline for me and said, I know who you are, nigga. I know who you are. I've seen all your shit, all the things you've done. I know who you are, nigga. And then walked into the studio. I was like, oh.
Never take a picture? Nothing?
I was frozen from then on.
That was the one episode I did, De La Hoya came on.
Right.
And that's when he was getting ready to fight, or he just fought Vargas?
Oh, I got a story about
Something,
that, too.
But he came on, and literally everyone there wanted to picture with De La Hoya.
Right.
He was the guy. And then he goes, when I go, hey, I'm going to go get my phone or camera, goes, oh, no. Literally, this PA producer guy literally said, no. Like, you're not a regular. You're not here yet. You just did an episode.
Right.
And I was like this, ain't this a bitch?
Right,
I was just
right.
thinking, ain't this a bitch?
Right.
The dude told me, no, you stay here.
Right.
Stay in your dressing room.
And, again, that 2-month span was magnificent. This was the De La Hoya Vargas fight, and they sent me down there to cover part of it, the weigh-in. And
Was that fight in L.A.?
No, Vegas.
It was in Vegas.
Vegas,
okay.
because I went to that fight. So, boom, and I had met Vargas maybe a couple of weeks before that at the studio in L.A. Again, nice dude. He knew who I was already. But I go down to interview Oscar, and I remember I said this. I'm talking to Oscar. He's sitting like where you're sitting. And no homo, but I just kept going, this is a pretty motherfucker. Like, I understand, yo. I understand why he gets all the bitches. Like, this nigga was just gorgeous, nigga. And he talked with that, it's going to be a good fight. I look forward to fighting him. It's going to be a good round. And, that smile and that, De La Hoya. I just was like, this motherfucker here, man. But don't let the pretty shit fool you. Like Sugar Ray, man, got skills.
Yeah.
That motherfucker had skills, man. And I remember during the weigh-in, and of course, this was the controversy because Vargas did steroids.
Yeah.
So I remember De La Hoya comes out first, and then Vargas comes out. He's got the entourage. He's got the women.
Vargas does or De La Hoya?
Vargas. He did the steroids, so he's a little cut up. He took all his shit off. He's fucking flexing, doing all of this shit, posing for the camera, mean mugging. And De La Hoya is just off to the side by himself, shadow boxing, looking at him like, yeah, all right. He beat the shit out of Vargas.
Oh. But I think boxing fans, like boxing purists,
Right.
they saw that coming.
You think so?
I
don't think the hardcore vatos, because the hardcore Mexicans hated De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Vargas was the streets.
But, man, I just remember thinking to myself, if De La Hoya on his A game, Vargas on his A game, I was like, it's not even close.
You didn't
If
think
De
so
La
a
Hoya's
little
on his
bit?
A game. And I think
I was fooled.
See, Vargas, he came in angry. Can't do that in boxing.
No, absolutely
Can't
right.
be coming in mad in Vegas.
Listen, man.
We're talking about my divorce.
Listen.
My wife's Vargas.
Right.
I'm De La Hoya, and I'm just going, look, I just want this to be over with.
Right.
And let's just move on with our lives. And I'm like this, and she's mad.
Right.
That's how Vargas was. That motherfucker really, and it went back to, I guess De La Hoya dissed him or something when he was coming up or some
Something
shit.
like that, yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I can't go in mad.
Let me tell you something. The night Holyfield fought Tyson, the first one, and I remember at the press conference, Tyson said,
I didn't see that coming now.
he said, you said a lot of bad things about me, Mr. Holyfield. I'm basically going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And Mike came to the ring running, like he was running. Cut to Holyfield's coming out to the Lord.
Oh, I said I'm a Christian.
Right.
If he wins this fight, I don't care about the other religions. I remember thinking, yo, we're not going to the club.
Hey, he came out to gospel.
Yeah.
And I'm
singing.
like,
On the way to the ring.
singing. And I'm like, ain't nobody beating God, man. And Tyson got his ass whooped.
I didn't see that one coming. The first one,
Right.
I didn't see that coming at all. The second one, after the first 30 seconds, I go, that's his boogeyman. Everybody got their boogeyman.
Right.
Like Wilder.
Right.
Fury's the boogeyman. Tyson, Holyfield's boogeyman. I'm like this. I knew within the first 30 seconds of the second fight, I go, oh, this is a repeat.
Right.
This is done.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't care about the hype. I knew it from the very beginning. I was like this.
And
That
I was
first one,
right.
I didn't think Holyfield would stand a fucking chance.
Dude, I was at both those fights, man.
I didn't see
The ear bite and the first one. And what made the first one so crazy to me is at one point I remember the knockdown, and when Mike Tyson got up, ding, the bell rings, and half his trunk was lodged in his ass crack. I was like, this just don't look good. And then when the ref eventually stopped the fight, had he not stopped it, Holyfield was going to knock him clean out.
Yeah.
Because the one punch had Mike fucked up.
And Mike
there
had
was
a chin
time.
now.
Yes.
Mike had a good chin.
Mike always had a chin. Mike ain't never been knocked out one hit a
Cold,
quitter.
yeah.
Like Roy.
Yeah.
We found out when Roy got older, Mike had no chin.
Yeah.
All that speed, all them hands. Roy was brilliant. Roy don't have a chin. You just couldn't touch him.
Yeah.
But when time caught up to his ass, every one of Roy's knockouts, one hit quitters.
Yeah.
And here's
Ugly.
Right, ugly. But here's another one talking about one that fucked me up. I remember I sent out a post because I was really on some depressed shit, trying to figure out Hollywood and my weight. And I sent out a post about how much I want to try to lose weight, how hard it is. Motherfucking Roy Jones reached out to me.
Really?
Yes, on WhatsApp. And I just went, what? And the whole time he's trying to tell me, hey, I'll hook you up with such and such trainer. You need to take these nutrients and take this and this and this. I wasn't listening to none of that shit. I said, all I heard was in my head, Pensacola in the house.
Must have forgot.
I must have forgot. This is Roy fucking Jones.
I mean, you should listen to him. He had amazing abs.
Yes, nigga. Some of his pitches, when he's cut up,
Yo.
woo. And
Yeah.
and that's him at 175 pounds. That's the weight I should be at.
Yeah.
I'm just like, ooh, to get down to that shit?
Right now, okay, outside of heavyweights, let me see who. You think Bud Crawford, pound for pound?
We talking welterweight or
Just pound for pound.
is
Best
it Jamal
fighter.
Crawford?
Bud Crawford. No, Jamal Crawford's a basketball player.
No. There is a
There's Jamal Crawford's a basketball
Terrence
player.
Crawford.
Yeah, that's Bud.
Okay.
Nickname Bud.
I'm wondering why Mayweather won't fight him.
Mayweather's retired.
Yeah, Mayweather's retired when it's convenient. But when he steps his ass back in the ring from time to time, step your ass up to Crawford.
He's 45 now. What's Mayweather? 44?
Yeah, he don't want that 50-0 to be touched.
I wouldn't either. But he fought everybody. Mayweather.
No. Fighters fight fighters. And he refused to fuck with Crawford. I don't think he could beat Canelo Alvarez if they did it right now again.
Yeah, but he already beat him once.
Okay, Canelo was young. He wasn't ready. Now?
But now Floyd's older.
Okay,
So now Floyd wouldn't be ready. He's too old now.
I don't have
But he
a lot
fought Canelo. He fought Mayweather fought Ricky Hatton when nobody thought Ricky Hatton could be beat. Destroyed him. When he fought De La Hoya.
They
They didn't think De La Hoya could beat him.
Old. Shane Mosley, old. He fought these guys past their prime.
He didn't fight Ricky Hatton past his prime. Ricky Hatton was.
Ricky Hatton.
But Ricky Hatton had me believing he had a shot.
Man, that's the white in you. You always sticking
I thought he had a
together.
shot. I was like,
y'all was sticking together.
But here's why I knew Floyd was the real deal. When he knocked out Corrales, Diego Corrales was knocking motherfuckers stone cold out. And I was like this. Man, we're about to get his ass whooped. When he beat Corrales, I was like this. Oh, this motherfucker's the real deal. I said, I'll never bet Floyd again. Never been against him
I
again after
honestly
that.
think if Floyd fought in his prime, Shane Mosley, that's a different outcome. De La Hoya, I won't give him that. But Shane Mosley, come on, man.
Mayweather was the best I ever saw just because I never really saw him get hurt. And he'd always take the first 3 rounds and then he figured it out.
You don't think if Mayweather fought Pacquiao when he was supposed to, that would be a different outcome?
I thought it would be boring either way. because I think
No.
he's such a calculated
But
fighter. He wouldn't allow Pacquiao to get off like that.
listen, this is
I
gonna
don't know
sound
why I
like
did that. I don't know why I did that.
This,
That was
this is
terrible.
gonna sound like an excuse. But when he fought Pacquiao, you know Pacquiao's rotator cuff was fucked up. If he'd have fought Pacquiao when Pacquiao at the height of both their badassness, I don't think so. I don't think he beats Pacquiao, man. Pacquiao was a tiger.
Just saying. When I saw Mayweather beat Corrales, I will never bet against that man the rest of my life. That was the time. That was Holyfield Tyson to me. I was like, Corrales was fucking destroying
Dude,
people.
I like Mayweather, but I don't like Mayweather. You know,
I think he's the best.
He's got the braggadocious of a Muhammad Ali. He even said one time.
figured it out, though.
Nah, but he even said one time that he thinks he's as great as Ali. Ali never ducked anybody. Ali fought all the guys he needed to when it was important. And even when Ali finally hung it up, the man was 56-5. 56-5. Come on, man. Give me the 56-5 over the 50-0.
I still think Mayweather's the best.
Mayweather fought Logan Paul. He fought some Asian dude in China who had no business in the ring.
That was easy money. That was easy
on,
money.
man.
But Ali fought Hulk Hogan, right? Did he
No.
fight Andre the Giant? He did like a wrestling match?
Yeah, but that was clearly some circus.
That's all
bullshit.
Mayweather was doing with the
No,
Paul
but that was a
brothers.
real boxing, no. That was a real boxing match.
Yeah, but he was playing with that dude. He was like this. And it was 50-pound difference. They were like, I'm going to get this money. I wasn't mad. You know, me and D-Ray were supposed to fight on the undercard.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did that come to fruition?
D-Ray called me and was like, yo, I'm calling Floyd. Blah, blah. He goes, now we ain't trying to do no Nate Robinson shit. We ain't trying to hurt each other. Because even I told D-Ray, I said, look, I get in shape and stuff. I said, but we got to be mic'd. We got to talk shit while we're fighting. Like, you, what you fucking doing? Get serious.
Right.
I want to have fun with it.
Right.
So I don't know what happened. The fight went away. This was supposed to be when it was like last December.
Right.
It went at first. The fight went away, then it came back. Once it went away, it never came back to us. But like we were going to be on the undercard.
Really?
Yep. I was looking forward to it.
You think you could beat him?
D-Ray,
Yeah.
if we're both in shape, because D-Ray ain't in the best shape sometimes.
Right.
I don't know. I don't fight like that. I would say I would put it like this. I know I got a decent chin.
Okay.
I've been hit a lot by grown men, and I never went
Was
down.
your dad one of them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not my dad, my stepdad, but
your real dad.
And then grew up in a trailer park.
Okay.
That's all we did was fight.
Right.
Like, we fight, so you get hit a lot.
right.
But it's not a big deal. But I know I got a chin. Even when I was in the military,
Right.
I've been hit before.
Right.
Even as a comic, I got sucker punched in Detroit.
By who?
Who knows?
Somebody in the audience?
Nah, at the club. I got stole on.
But no one from the crowd, from the show.
I don't know if they were at the show or not. I know I was at a club and I got stole on after the
Okay.
show.
Really?
Took that shit like a G. Walked out like it never happened.
But what happened?
Bing,
Like,
bing.
why did somebody? What
Went after my show, a place called the Elysium.
Man.
These girls, when I walked in, they go, can we get a picture? I said, yeah, I get a picture. Went to the bar, ordered a drink for my buddy Reggie and his wife, ordered 3 drinks. The bartender says $125. I said, God damn, how much are the drinks? They said, those girls behind you said you were buying their drinks. I said, I ain't buying no bitches drinks here tonight.
You said bitches?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I got hit.
Here it comes. I thought
Turned
motherfucker
around.
just stole on you
I'm getting-
just to steal
Hold
on you.
Dang. I took it like this. Grabbed buddy Reggie. Let's go. The place is whack. Walked out like it never happened. I was like, I'm not. I shouldn't be here.
The people that hit you, they was black dudes.
Yeah. The whole club was black. There's literally like 2-3 black dudes right now in Detroit. Every time I come on TV.
What made you go bitches out loud?
Dude, I was kidding. I was like this. I was saying bitches per se, like bitches. I wasn't saying like you're a bitch. They took it personal. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
you think?
I'm thinking I'm already on stage.
You
I
think,
ain't buying
white
no
boy?
bitches drinks in this club.
You think, white boy?
Dang. That's it.
Calling black women bitches, especially in a black atmosphere, is like calling black men niggas.
Learned.
There you
Lesson
go.
learned.
There
That's
you
still
go.
long. All right, lesson learned. All right, man. We've been on a long time. I appreciate you coming on. Anything you want to pump? Obviously, you already did. Happy to do that episode.
Again, fuck it, more the merrier. Spears and Steinberg, The Jew and the Jerk, available on all streaming platforms. DM me on my Instagram. I'll send you the links. And I got to say this one thing, because this is important, as I tell the emailers who email into my podcast. Don't start from the current episodes. Start from the beginning. Work your way up. Don't get intimidated by the fact that it's 300 episodes. We're like a story. You got to track the evolution, the characters, the growth. I promise you, comedically and joke-wise, it's a payoff. Start from episode 1 and go in order.
There it is. Aries Spears, thanks for coming, man.
Always, brother.
Appreciate you.
My man.